Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, AFL action this afternoon. Let's get around the panel before we get that AFL score from Port Adelaide and West Coast. Just waiting for our final tick-off of play. Birchie, winner and margin?
Bell Park, 26 points.
Matt Kershaw, no pendulum yet.
No pendulum till after round 3, so I know everyone's waiting for it. But Bell Park by 40.
Jason Doherty.
Bell Park by 32.
Bell Park for me to round out the quadrella and to win comfortably by 55 this afternoon, which probably means right now we're not favourites with too many people around Windsor Park. Port Adelaide 3 straight lead, West Coast 2-3-15. Matt Kershaw in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe, and down Boundary Side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, Jane Birch will stay across everything. If you're listening to us through KROC 955 or KROCfootball.live, we can, of course, be streamed thanks to Red Onion Creative, and you can do that through aflbarwon.com.au. There is a delay in starting because we've actually requested as a broadcaster that they don't bounce until bounce time. So the players have actually been standing around for 2 minutes, and they're just waiting for 2:10 to tick over for a play to officially get underway, and that just helps us with our broadcast and also the streaming. First quarter will be thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. It's North Shore and Bell Park, a fiesta of footy across KROC football. Thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7 and the Chimichanga Jaffle. Fiesta's a great word when it goes with the Chimichanga Jaffle. Lara and Grovedale tomorrow, and then, of course, St Joseph's and South Barwon on Anzac Day Tuesday, with the Cats and the Swans tonight in the grand final rematch. So big day of football here on KROC 955. We're just waiting for the clock to tick over. It's a bit like the umpires on day one of the Boxing Day test, just waiting for 10:30 to tick over, and Mitch Stark's got the red kookaburra in hand, ready to steam in from the members' end. So here we go. Round 2 action, North Shore and Bell Park, a couple of foundation clubs going at it. And to get us underway, here's Jason Doherty.
Harry Goff goes up. James Worm for Bell Park gets the first tap down, gets straight away and gets the ball to Hamish Lucas for Bell Park, going to the northern end in this first term. Mitch Langan back in the team for North Shore, as Darren Winter told us before the game. He gets it from centre half back for the Seagulls. But at the back, Patton for Bell Park, across centre wing, couple of chain of handballs there through Brad Gerard's tackle. He got dumped as well and then got rid of the football. Gerard goes back in there for North Shore, gets it on the up. They get on the outside. Can they get it away though? They can't. Pressure on from Gorman for Bell Park. Patton in there again, fighting hard for it. Got rid of the football. And a quick kick North Shore towards half forward.
Came from Cleary, looking down there for Miljevic. Couldn't take it. Ball's at ground level. Miljevic will get a handball up. Had it partially smothered. Purcell putting his body on the line. He might have given away a free kick there, and play on advantage is paid. Lucas with a fit of the fumbles. Time to recover. Give a handball off. Chance to go through Gray. Gray lowered the vision inside 50. Wonderful ball. Onto the chest of the leading Fisher, who after 6 last week gets an opportunity early to kick his first. Matt Kershaw in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe.
Perfect kick, perfect lead, right in the leading lane. Was not much with it and can do with that, to be quite fair. And when you've got a VFL listed player coming at you like that, you're not going to miss too many on your chest. And that was a perfect kick inside forward 50.
Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup we'll keep an eye on this afternoon. Fisher coming off 6. Kicks from about 45, sets it up and fades it back beautifully, and that's an early contender for a Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon. First on the board for the Dragons through Jack Fisher there on the Geelong Bank KROC scoreboard. 1 straight 6. Bell Park. North Shore yet to score as we tick towards 2 minutes gone opening term here at Windsor Park.
Keegan Gray is a renowned winger outside mid, but when you run him off half-back flank and you've got no defensive pressure from your half-forward line, that's twice he's come off the back of the square now through the corridor, so they're going to have to probably tighten up the bit defensively on the half-forward line there, North Shore.
Interesting to see Langan actually started down back for Wombat Gully.
Yeah, Winter mentioned that, didn't he, in the pre-game? So interesting, considering that they probably need another key down forward.
First blood to the Parkers. Worm gets it down in the middle as well. And towards his brother Ben, goes around, went left, then went right, gets around Goff, goes towards half forward with the kick. Oh, good sit there and good mark. And that came from Jordan Purcell for North Shore. Just had the sit over the back. And at left half forward takes the mark. So called to play on now. Goes with the right foot towards centre wing. Pack develops. Lane goes up. Couple in front. North Shore with the numbers at the front of the pack. Cooper Langan gets the handball inside. Back to Tregenza. They run through the middle. Miljevic goes with the right foot kick. Inside 50 for North Shore. Getting back there though, Gray. Read the better across half back and took the mark.
Brings it broadcast side to Sheringham. Old Father Time's got it at left half back. He goes short and Sarcevic has marked on the chest. That is Jack. There's Charlie out there as well. As Jack sends it inside forward 50. Fisher is targeting a one-on-one against Witherden. It'll be a free kick, I reckon, to Witherden for a hold. And he'll take it. So on the Werribee VFL list is the Bowen Heads product. We'll look to bring it broadcast side. And to half back he comes, looking for Jordan Purcell, standing tall but not marking James Worm. Landed awkwardly. Keep an eye on that Birchie for St John of God. He does get to his feet there with Paddy Cleary now. Hayes brings it to the wing to a one-on-one lane front position. Bowyer there, but getting some help from Keegan Gray. Bowyer took it off the pack. Handball out the back to Lloyd. Dumped in a really good tackle by Miljevic at true centre wing. And we'll get a ball up right in front of our best seats in the house. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. This might be the best broadcast spot in the GFL, Jason.
It certainly is. And we've got the ball up on centre wing. Goff goes up early against Worm. Gets it down. Free kick. Hold. Going to come back to Bell Park. And going to come back. I think to Lockie Patton on centre wing. He's had the ball 4 or 5 times already in this opening stanza of 4 minutes.
Tregenza's got the job on him, Jace.
Yep. Called to play on, goes with his left foot back into the middle of the ground. Oh, bit of a juggle there from Worm. Gives it away to Lucas, who runs free, runs inside 50 with the ball. Fisher got a couple on him this time. Mitch Langan is one of them. Goes a little right foot toe poke across the ground. Outside defensive 50. Misses Brad Gerard by foot. And it's out of bounds for a throw in about 65 around for the Bell Park goal.
Young Will Milsom's got the job on Sarcevic. He's had a few touches early, getting up high the ground from half forward.
Wombat Gully Plant Farm. See the team at Wombat Gully Plant Farm for all your gardening needs. Boundary throw in. Tap down Worm, front of the pack, thrown on the boot there by Wynn. It rolls into the right forward pocket. Fisher's there with Witherden and the ball's out of bounds. Boundary throw in. So second game for Matt Wynn, wearing the number 77. I don't think you'll get too much higher in the GFL
Heavy,
this year.
heavy, very heavy.
From the Horsham Demons in the Wimmera League. Boundary throwing right forward pocket from behind Worm for Bell Park. That is James Worm, his brother Ben, the much shorter of the two. And we've got a stoppage in the right forward pocket. Umpires Buckley, Elliott and Wilson controlling this one. And umpire Elliott will put it into the air in the right forward pocket at the northern end. Bell Park in attack.
Goff gets a push, I think, does he? And Finney, I think. He played on. The umpire said play on. It was a free kick to Bell Park.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. And I think it's Wilson Mack.
Oh, the new boy.
I think the new boy, because he's got a dirty tash, and look at that.
First kick, first
goal.
We played last week.
Yeah, so there you go.
Kick, first goal.
So out of the ruck contest, got a push, turned around, kicked the goal in the right forward pocket, straight through the middle.
Took the advantage. It was a little bit. I thought
start, wasn't it?
I thought with you the other way, the free kick might have gone the other way then, but no, alas not. But it was a good goal.
2 straight 12. Bell Park. They lead North Shore yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard here at Windsor Park.
They've got off to a flyer, haven't they? A lot of work from their midfield. They've got so many numbers coming through that corridor, and they've got some great shape behind the ball too. So every time North Shore gets it, at least in their forward half, their shape just brings it back through the corridor and into their forward line. They look quite potent, don't they, their forward line, Bell Park, to be quite fair. They move, they're agile, they're young. Apart from Jackson, but brings the average up to about 28.
Umpire tosses it into the air. Miljevic climbed high, won the tap down for North Shore, but coming off half-back, Gray with a burst handball to Lucas. They're carving him up through the middle. Lucas a handball forward to Mack. Mack will give it back to Gray. Gray from 40 steadies. Gray pulls the kick, and it'll go through for a minor score as Mitch Langan goes crashing into the left-hand behind post. That is wobbling like the old behind post at the SCG back in the 80s. It is 2 straight 12, make it 2-1-13. Bell Park, North Shore yet to score. First quarter, 7 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
With it and kicked it in, only as far as Sarcevic, who got his head ripped off. And he will take a free kick. That tackle way too high. And a couple of Bell Park players coming in to remonstrate with Jordan Purcell. And Jack Sarcevic, who, the famous name at Bell Park, will have a shot for goal from 45 out on the boundary line in the right half-forward flank position at the northern end of Windsor Park. So as Kirsch said, straight out of the middle again, the Parkers.
Keegan Gray again off the half-back flank. So Green, who's on him from North Shore, is really going to have to tighten up defensively in there. They might have to play a defensive forward on him.
Sarcevic, left foot kick misses to the far side and through for one behind. So for the first time in the seniors today, Bell Park go to 2-2-14. The famous Desmond Tutu, may rest in peace. North Shore yet to score. 8 played first term, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
It's the Archbishop himself. There's random South guy standing behind the goals at the northern end. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, somebody will have a South Sydney Rugby League top on. The famous Cardinal and Myrtle colours of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Witherden to bring the ball back into play at the northern or refinery end of the ground. You know you've got country footy when you've got the refinery end. Kick towards half-back lane is his target. Spoil came from behind from Bowyer. It'll spill out the side door. McNamara there for North Shore trying to keep it alive. He can't, and it's out of bounds as Worm is taken off the footy by Leonard, and we'll get a boundary throw in. Front of the Bell Park coaches box with a very elite coaching staff too, including a 288 former AFL star in Peter Riccardi. Ball at ground level. Purcell dumped in the roving for North Shore, brought to ground going nowhere. Good tackle laid by Win, and we'll get a ball up. Ball in the air again at left half forward for the Dragons. Tapped one down by James Worm, but once again we're going to get another stoppage as Mack tries to lay a tackle. Good tackle laid by Tregenza of North Shore on Lockie Patton, who's going nowhere, and we'll get another ball up as we go down to Jane Birch, boundary side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Plenty of movement on the benches, but pretty quiet injury-wise, Birchie.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, which is good news for both teams. No injuries yet, and there's been a few rotations, but not as frantic as some of the other games. So, yeah, a few players lined up here wanting to come on, but perhaps not getting their interchange just yet.
Thanks, Birchie. We'll keep you up to date. Injury updates thanks to St John of God this afternoon. Ball up, centre, half forward for Bell Park, and running free from the ruck contest there was Ben Worm. It goes with a right foot kick across the face of goal at the northern end, has pushed it out of bounds on the full. So the free kick's going to come back to Jack Leonard for North Shore in the back pocket. He chips the ball to Walmsley, who takes the mark, plays on, gives it back to Leonard, the 1-2, wants to kick it across the ground, is okay. And they start through McNamara now, go short towards Gerard, the 2 number 3s. Great pick up, Sarcevic. Now the kick from James Worm for Bell Park was smothered, falls to Lucas again, he's just toying with them, left foot kick, touched off the boot, play on, said the umpire, through the middle, Worm, Ben gets it away, now Miljevic gets it to Hayes, his left-hand handball, they might be clear now, North Shore, they go towards centre wing, it's a 1-on-3, and the 3 win, and it was an easy mark in the end of Darcy Brown.
Brown laterally on the skid. It's taken on the half volley by Keegan Gray. He goes wide to Sheringham. Sheringham's got it just at the edge of the centre square, out of side, sends it into the forward 50. Fisher kick too wide for him. He has, that's a awkward movement with his knee there as he went to sort of shimmy away from Witherden. He will get up.
Knee problems too.
He has. That right knee is heavily strapped. And he has got up a little bit awkwardly for St John of God. Keep an eye on that, Birchie. St John of God, we put you first, and we'll get a boundary throw in the right forward pocket, northern end of the ground.
So boundary throw in now, comes to the back of the pack, coming in Primer helping out. Miljevic can't take it with him for North Shore either. On hands and knees, the Seagulls fighting hard for it. Primer just held up in the tackle. The umpire is paid holding the ball. So 2 Bell Park players. Sarcevic was 1. Will he get the free kick? No. I think it's coming back. Might be Fisher with it, is it? Just having a look. So they've got a free kick. Miljevic standing the mark. And Bell Park a chance for their third of the afternoon. Shot for goal from about 4, or just on 50. The kick will be. Right foot towards the top of the square. Oh, big fly from North Shore defence there. Purcell gets wrapped up in the goal square, in trouble. Umpire says, drop the pudding. Yep. Absolutely he did.
Good call.
He had 1 or 2 opportunities to get rid of the football and then got wrapped up pretty quickly. And I think Hamish Lucas might have slept with this Sharon last night because he has had it that many times. He's brought it with him. He packed it in his bag.
He has.
And he's brought it in the first term. He would have had 10 possessions already, I reckon, Hamish Lucas.
They held up all right there for a period, North Shore, but you just feel the inside 50s and time in forward half. The damn wall's going to break eventually, and Let's pop that one through.
He has. Lucas puts his first on the board and the third for Bell Park. They are 3-2-20 and they lead North Shore yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Just an injury update. Jack Fisher did come off after that awkward movement with the knee. It's troubling him, so he's come off and they're going to have a bit of an assessment of that.
It just looked really, that lateral movement of the knee just didn't look good. So hopefully nothing too sinister for Jack Fisher. Of course, 7 goals on the season and we're only 4.5 quarters in. And this one's just threatening to be a blowout, unfortunately. 3-2-20 Bell Park. North Shore yet to score. We know they've leaked goals, 44 through the opening 2 weeks of the season that they've featured in. Of course, their season starting a couple of weeks before everybody else against St Joseph's back on April 1. Back in the middle, Worm winning the tap down again, and Lucas running onto it at speed. Sending the kick inside forward 50, went very, very wide. Chance here now for James Worm. And now inside 50 comes the kick. Might have been Gray, a high ball into the right forward pocket. It sits on its point. It's knocked forward into the path of Tregenza. Now clearing kick, might have been Milsom jamming on the boot, but back with the flight, taking the mark is Matt Wynn.
So Wynn wearing the 77 for Bell Park this afternoon. 55 from goal. Pretty congested between he and the goal. Bell Park's attacking end, and he's going back Lammy's Tavern goal of the day style here from 55 out. Wants to give it everything he's got. Goes long. It's just on the goal line and punched through by Miljevic. Missing to the right-hand side and through for one behind.
I reckon Kai Edwards has gone into the ruck for Wombat Gully and Worm's gone forward with Fisher off Kirsch.
Just to challenge him a little bit, yep.
Bell Park 3-3-21. They lead North Shore yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
One of the great things about country footy is we're waiting for the ball to come back from behind the goal, so we're just getting a delay in play, and this is a nightmare for North Shore because it allows Bell Park to set up how they want to defensively. There's no quick play on.
Well, it'll be is it the only ground in the GFL without nets as well? Probably would be.
Potentially, yeah. So Witherden's gone and retrieved the footy from the car park at the northern end. Lane's pointing towards the boundary line near our broadcast position was where he wants to see the ball come. Witherden, Lane will fly against 2. He brought it to ground, did well, nearly got his hands on the footy, but they're going to go inside forward 50 again here. The ball eluded Hayes of North Shore. Chance now for Worm going one way, then the next. That's Ben, kicks on his left to the top of the goal square. Jeez. And Jackson Sheringham stands all alone 15 metres out directly in front.
That's class, isn't it? Absolute class on his left. Worm round the corner and, geez, that dangerous spot there, and he knows where the ball was going, Sheringham. He knows where it's going all the time.
Playing game 126 of a very impressive GFL career. Not to forget that he played some AFL footy with the Cats, and he's kicked the goal here as Jackson Sheringham. Goal 72 for him at GFL level. And the 4th of the afternoon for Bell Park as we've gone 15.5 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Bell Park, 4-3-27. They lead North Shore yet to score. Opening quarter. K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
It's pretty hard to say let's get Lane into the game when they've only had 2 or 3 inside forward 50s. So whether they get him on the ball for a period of time to get him his hands on it and get him into the game, they need to look at something different here, because at the moment Lloyd and Keegan Gray just running off half back in that midfield. Lucas, like you said, has brought his own pill.
Matt Kershaw in the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe, Ryrie Street, Geelong.
So, boundary umpire, they haven't going to retrieve the football. I think South Sydney man helped us out there as well after that goal was kicked. So back to the middle. Fast start by the visitors this afternoon. Edwards in the ruck for Bell Park, gets it down. Handball came back. Marnie having a run on the ball for Bell Park as well. Goes towards Wilson Mack. He might be K-Rock's own shortly, I think. He moves very nicely at half forward. Goes out wide. Hands. Good mark, good hands, and good mark from James Worm, who's, as we said, resting at full forward with Fisher off the ground. Started in the ruck and has taken a great mark, great grab, and will shoot for goal from 45 out on the boundary line in the right forward pocket, the northern end of the ground here.
Pretty handy flexibility to just flick him forward and have an immediate impact when he's down there on both last forward entries. So he's very handy for them as well. potent forward line, really, haven't they? When you think about it, they've got some players that can kick goals.
Helps when they move the footy. That's the way they are too. Worm.
It's not the greatest of kicks.
I was going to say, he needs a bit of work with that at the Kershaw kicking school, I think.
Does.
And punched through by the North Shore defence for a rush behind to the Parkers. They go to 4-4-28. They lead. North Shore yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard.
Witherden to bring the ball back into play, goes short into the left back pocket. He missed his target in Leonard, but he's got time to pick it up on the bounce, put a handball over the top to Jordan Purcell, outside of the right hand, handball to Harry Purcell. Harry cuts back inside defensive 50, back to Leonard in the left back pocket for North Shore. A high kick towards the outer wing. What's his target? And the mark taken well there. Out there, might have been by Green. Green now brings the ball towards the middle of the ground. It's a well-weighted kick, and Miljovic's marked on the chest, and some rare use of the footy here for North Shore. It's been few and far between where they've had string of possessions. He goes wide. Green involved, or Jordan Purcell, I should say. He'll go into 1-2, gave it to Gerard. Gerard loops it over the top, dumped as he kicked. The kick inside 50, just eluded Will Milsom. Over the footy is Tregenza, and he's brought down to ground. Good tackle laid by Isaac Wareham, and about 25 from goal we will get a ball up. But North Shore inside forward 50 for a rare time in this opening quarter that has ticked over 18 and a half minutes on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
Ruck contest. Lane takes it out of the ruck, gives it to Jordan Purcell, gave it away to Tregenza off a step, 40 metres out, and has missed with the right foot around the corner. 3 for 1 behind. First score of the afternoon for the home side. They are behind. Bell Park 4-4-28, Geelong Bank K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Challenge is now for them to set up defensively and keep the ball in their forward half so they can enjoy some time in forward half and get some shots in. Get some players up the grounds, keep it up in their forward 70.
Mirkovic to bring the ball back into play after a big one last week. Had 32 touches against St Albans. His short kick in makes Wynn stretch, but he marks, and now he sends it towards the outer wing, and Sheringham just had enough separation on Purcell to mark. He goes short onto the chest of Sarcevic. No mark paid. I think it might be coming back to Jack Sarcevic. Was it paid as a mark, Kirsch?
It was way too early.
The Sporting Globe, Jack Sarcevic. Talk about sons of guns. Jack goes short and finds Wilson Mack, who's got it. Almost true centre wing. Comes into the cricket pitch area where it's marked by Lloyd. And Lloyd, after a stellar VFL season last year, finished top 5 in the Cats best and fairest. Inside forward 50 he goes. Worm is his target. He can't mark. Front of the pack, chance for Mirkovic, who's got down there quickly. Gave a handball to Ben Worm, who gave a handball back. Chance now for Wareham outside 50. Short kick is ideal onto the chest of Jack Sarcevic. And gee, they're covering some ground. Mirkovic, Sarcevic.
All the Vics come out of their back half, 6 possessions, and they just followed it into their forward line without any defensive pressure on them. So they just couldn't run with him then. So whether that's just ball watching or just poor defensive mind status, just too easy for Bell Park to move the ball forward.
Well, if there's something we've enjoyed over the journey of the GFL is watching a Sarcevic kick goals for Bell Park, and that's what Jack's going to do right now, although he's pulled that one to the right.
Ray wouldn't have missed.
No, certainly wouldn't have. Might be off to the Ray Sarcevic school of goal kicking. Jack's got 2 behinds by my count this afternoon, and the Dragons are 4-5-29. They've got a 28-point buffer on North Shore, 1 behind as we approach 21 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
Witherden, short kicking, Walmsley takes the mark, gives it back to Witherden. Set play there. He runs through half back, goes to centre wing with the kick. It's good. Better. The mark taken by Salah. They want to drive it quickly along centre wing, half forward Milsom. Picks it up under, car park, I think. Very wide. Boundary umpire a long way away. They got away with it, North Shore. And the mark has been taken by Green, who goes top of the square. Bell Park, though, got the numbers back there in defence. And the mark taken by Kai Edwards for Bell Park. Just in the ruck, playing behind the footy. He goes out to Win. He chips it over the top, and they're away now, and they go through Isaac Wareham.
Wareham towards the outer wing has got a marking target. It's taken out there by Wilson Mack. We'll get down to Jane Birch for an update on Fisher shortly for our friends at St John of God. Mack comes laterally to Gorman, who marks almost to the point of the square at right half back. Lloyd is screaming for it. It's just a miss-hit kick, but it's going to bounce okay for Lloyd, who then got around Green a little bit too easily. Straightens up, kicks to centre half forward. Keegan Gray all alone, 52 from goal, outside of the right boot, has pushed it a little bit right wide, and it's out of bounds. And they have missed some opportunities to make the Seagulls pay in this opening term. They're 4-5-29. North Shore one behind, 22 minutes played in this opening term. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Ball from Harry Purcell to Jack Leonard. In the back pocket, wants to try and switch the play. Gerard straight back on the ground, might get to him second effort. Comes across, they play on now. They go towards half-back, turn the ball over. Benstead takes the mark, reads the ball better for Bell Park. Short little kick, Patton takes the mark at half forward, goes towards the pocket. And, Gerard very late on the push there on Jack Sarcevic, who's had called to play on. So the umpire said play on. He got around on his mark. Little left foot kick was okay. He kept his head and pushed it into the left forward pocket. And that was a little bit too easy.
Yep.
And the mark has been taken by Stefanovski, who, as James Saker said before the game, has had coming back from an ACL injury.
And the corner.
Yeah, round the corner, left forward pocket, right foot kick, and kicks the goal. So he's a good size too, Lucas Stefanovski.
He
Kicks his first of the afternoon. And the fifth for Bell Park, 5-5-35. They lead North Shore one behind. Geelong Bank K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard and in the expert share. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Oh, he loves that. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong. Here's Matt Kershaw.
When you'd be very disappointed with, he spoke before the game about how he wanted them to be more defensively mindset and have that, real responsibility on your direct opponent. They're just that metre and a half off them all over the ground. In some cases, Keegan Gray, who is a half-back flanker, standing on his own on top of the 50.
Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, St Albans has a goal. Early.
I said no more than 2.
Only 2 to go. Only 2 more to go.
13 playing 6. Newtown over St Albans. Colac and Leopold 6 points apiece. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. And, of course, the $100 Leopold Sporties voucher up for grabs this afternoon, as I think we're waiting for a football to return. So that might give us an opportunity for Leopold Sporties to go around the ground. Actually, no, Jane Birch, down to you for St John of God. Have we got an update on Jack Fisher as I just spy him down at the interchange bench?
Yeah, he's been on the table all of that time. They're just running him through all the tests, trying to actually work out what he's done. He's got a fair bit of discomfort, but they're not quite certain, I don't think, to pinpoint exactly what he's done. So they're just going to maybe give him a test out on the boundary in a minute, but the strapping's off. Just don't have an official diagnosis yet.
Back in the middle, we'll go around the grounds. There was an early starting GDFNL game, and Jace is across that for Leopold Sporties. Edwards in the middle. He didn't win the tap, but he grabbed the footy and he jammed it inside forward, 50 to a one-on-one. Sarcevic back with the flight, got his hands on the footy and then got a handball release away to Mack. Mack couldn't take it cleanly under pressure. The Seagulls will look to clear towards half, back towards Gerard. Coming in, head over the footy, might have been Winnie. Looks okay. Chance for Ben Worm, fires a handball back. And now kick inside forward 50. A high ball that underneath was Wilson. Mack couldn't mark off the hands of the pack. Patton, he might have caught one high. Lockie Patton, he will receive a free kick about 40 out from goal. So not noted as long kickers of the football, the Pattons, but are accurate kicks of the football. What is that score for Leopold Sporties from West Oval?
Yeah, Geelong West playing Anarchy. Geelong West 15-9-99 lead Anarchy 2 straight 12.
Patton gives it all he's got, but in going for distance has pulled it to the right, the left footer, and through for a minor score. So make that now 5-6-36. The Dragons, North Shore one behind, the margin 35 as we've played 25 and a half minutes on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
You think Matt Hebbard might have a couple out at Geelong West this afternoon?
No, he's injured. I think
he's injured.
Yeah, he's got a calf.
Somebody else is kicking them then. From the kick in, Harry Purcell kicked it wide. The ball stayed in the field of play, even though it missed a North Shore teammate. But Bell Park fighting hard for it right on the boundary line. The kick around the corner came from Merkovic. It was smothered and out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw in on the left half-forward flank for Bell Park. They've done most of the attacking this first term here at Windsor Park. It shows on the scoreboard 5-6-36 to one behind. Boundary throw in. Goff goes up early. Wormsley at the front. Kick was smothered by Lucas. Kick around the corner from Patton to the top of the 10-metre square. Which way is it going to bounce? Past Marnie. Sarcevic comes in as well for Bell Park. Mitch Langan with a clearing kick towards Goff. Put his hands up. Couldn't take it. Wynn got tackled without the football. Gerard now for North Shore. Got the handball away to Tregenza. He goes towards centre wing. Benstead tried to play it defensively towards the boundary line. Salah, just runs out of room. Right in front of the best seats in the house thanks to Abco Cafe. 24/7 and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Braden Mitchell might be the man kicking the goals for West. No Dye, no Hebbard. So we'll...
Likes a goal or two, Braden.
Doesn't mind one. Boundary throw-in. True centre wing. Ball back into play. Edwards to do the ruck work against the very lean Goff. Won the tap down. Chance now for Jackson Smith. Here's Purcell bursting his way through, although left the footy behind and then got a little soccer kick on the ball. Wareham might have caught one high. Quick kick forward. Cooper Langan went through the hands of Salah. Really should have marked that. Had to go back and lay a tackle and he took Benstead high and it'll be a free kick. So Salah just a mistake he didn't want to make there. In fact, it was Primer that was involved a little bit earlier. Benstead laterally into the back pocket. And, gee, what about the luxury of Lloyd and Lucas being back today? Although they might not see a lot of them throughout the year with the Cats wanting them, I suspect, across the face of his defensive goal to Gray, and he can take off from the right back pocket with a bounce.
He does. He gives it away by hand towards Sarcevic Jack, who gives it back to Gray, goes with a kick to half forward. Worm James out the back is an advantage. It should be. Yes, it is. He plays on. Handball's over the top. It's a 2-on-1. Handball over the top from Marnie in the goal square. Lucas, who is absolutely everywhere for Bell Park, his second of the afternoon. And that is Bell Park's sixth. They go to 6-6-42. They lead North Shore. One behind Geelong Bank K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
The elite players break games open, and you've got Ben Lloyd switching the play to Keegan Gray, who gets the 1-2. They're both VFL listed for a reason. And then you look at Hamish Lucas's work rate. He was in the corridor when that ball was coming through with Keegan Gray and then gets on the end of it. They know where their ball's going. Their work rate is elite, and that's why they've got that goal from coast to coast with only 3 possessions. Fantastic play, Bell Park Footy Club.
This has got disaster written all over it for North Shore. 22-18's seriously in jeopardy, and a little bit more maybe. Back in the middle, tapped down one by Goff, socked forward by Milsom. He sort of hacked it out of mid-air, but the rolling ball taken at half back. Wareham will run onto a loose footy, but run into trouble. Good tackle laid by Witherden. Forces a spillage. Kick inside 50, Milsom. Where's Lane or Miljevic? Neither could mark. It's going to be a free kick, though, and I think it's going to go against Miljevic for holding, and we'll go to Darcy Brown. Brown across the face of goal. He set it up, and the mark over the top is not a bad one. Is that taken by Paddy Cleary? A Hamlin hanger contender from Cleary over the top. A ball intended for Merkovic. Cleary read it best. And, well, not a noted goal kicker. Just the 17 goals in his 110 previous games for the Seagulls.
Could go anywhere as a fullback, Kingy.
Man, 25 metres out. 45-degree angle, and he's drilled it, Paddy. Absolutely hammered it home.
Go up, I didn't
And
move.
he kicks the Seagulls first. It's taken 29 and a half minutes. But Paddy Cleary with the first major of the afternoon for the Seagulls. They're 117. Bell Park 6-6-42. The margin 35 in the opening term. Thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Or maybe it's the master stroke with Cleary forward and Langham down back. It's made the difference. It's made the difference.
Needs to make a little bit more of a difference.
Yeah, it does. It needs 4 more of them just to get them back in the game for sure.
Matt Kershaw in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong.
So back to the middle. Good finish from Paddy Cleary there for the home side. Worm James in Bell Park. And Ruck gets it down towards Lucas again. And
he's hoping the cousin can get that on the Channel 7 News tonight. And I know Mitch will be listening to us this afternoon.
Yeah. So ball up just inside the centre square. Goff goes up, gets it down Milsom. Kick was smothered. Now James Worm for Bell Park. Left foot kick, centre half forward high. Leonard got a hand to it, couldn't take a mark. Tracks it back. Wilson Mack next to him. He picks up Leonard at half back and he chips the ball over the top, asking a bit of a couple. And in the way was Jake Reid for Bell Park, who read it the better against Primer. Took the mark, called to play on now. Centre wing, drives it long, back towards half forward. Pack develops, punched away from behind. Is that a push, the umpire said?
Yep.
Yes, it was. And it's going to be a free kick to Stefanovski again, who's kicked one already this afternoon.
Birchie, Fisher, any update?
No, Kingy, not an update. I'll try and get one at quarter time, but he was sitting with his head in his hands in the bunker there, so he looks like he may not get back out there.
Well, we might let you get to James Saker out of the huddle at quarter time, but right now, Lucas Stefanovski, a chance to kick his second to cap an very impressive opening quarter from the Dragons. Just left of send up. Will kick from about 48. He starts at left. He works it back right. And he's kicked an absolute cracker. A Lemmy's Tavern goal of the afternoon contender after the quarter-time siren from Stefanovski. Lemmy's open Friday to Sunday with happy hour and free entry before 10 p.m. That's 2 for Stefanovski and 7 for the Dragons in a scintillating opening quarter burst. 7-6-48. They lead at the first change by 41 points. North Shore 1-1-7 that first term, thanks to Geelong Bank. We'll take a break from here at Windsor Park. Bell Park in control after a very tidy opening stanza here at Windsor.
C and Torquay. Ocean Grove and Ammo's just started 10 minutes ago in the G and D FNL. Geelong West, as we said, 135. They're going to be big winners over Anarchy 12. They started early. East Geelong 19, North Geelong 18. No score yet. Bellpost Hill and Werribee Central, or Belmont and Thompson. Winch 6. Corio yet to score.
As we go down to James Birch. Birch, have you been able to get James Saker for a quick word out of the huddle?
Yep, I've got James Saker here, and he was really pushing that message about the team, and you certainly would be very impressed with how they started. There was a lot of run off half-back, linking up really well, and, you know, players working for each other to create that uncontested ball movement, so that was a really good start.
Yeah, it was a great start. Led from our mids. We got our hands on it early. I thought our pressure at the source was really good too, which enabled our backs to get a bit of rebound off half-back and get those deep entries that caused us to have some good one-on-ones and get on the scoreboard.
And Fisher looks like he may not take any further part with that awkward sort of sideways movement over there with the knee. Can you give us any insight into what's happened there?
Yeah, like you said, it's just an awkward one. I don't know how bad it is. It was taped pre-game, but he's been really good. Hopefully it's just a knock and a bit of a jar, but we don't know any more yet.
Thanks so much. Good luck for the rest of the game.
James Birch down there for Geelong Sports Medicine. See that down riding the boundary for us, thanks to the team at Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Nick and Emma Jarman, all the team. Church Street in North Geelong, Ballarat Road, sort of where that juncture takes place near the golf club, and they've jumped on board, of course. Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, your ultimate destination for health, fitness and recovery. Second quarter, Harvey Norman, we're underway.
Yes, Miljevic got it down for North Shore, but back to his opposite number, Worm. Got it away by hand to Patton, who goes to half forward with the kick for Bell Park off the side of the pack. They get it towards that man again, Lucas, but the ball was, it came back to him in the end, and he got it right on the point of the centre square at half forward. Chips the ball across half forward, but Cooper Langan gets that back there and takes the mark for North Shore.
Haven't called much of him, Cooper Langan, as he brings it broadcast side to a one-on-one, looking for Primmer. Ball from behind Brown. He might have given away a free kick for a hold, Darcy Brown, and Primmer making his debut for the Seagulls after 2 GFL senior games with South Barwon. Has got the free kick, but not many options. He's called to play on, so he just sets it up to left half forward. Lane is his target. Front of the pack, Worm comes across to spoil. That was James. And now he puts his head over the footy, but it's going to spill for Lucas, who's been everywhere this afternoon. Up to Lloyd. Lloyd tucks it under the arm, runs away a little bit too easy from Miljevic. Kicks towards half forward. It's going to be a free kick downfield against Lloyd. For Miljevic on Lloyd. And it's now Charlie Sarcevic with the resultant free kick. He's got it right in front of our best seats in the house. Apco Cafe 24/7. Drives it long inside forward 50 off. Surely off the footy. That'll be a free kick against Toby Marnie. And that'll go to Jordan Purcell, who goes short with a kick to Gerard.
Yes, he gets it out wide by hand to Lockie Hayes. Runs through half back. Chips the ball towards Primo. Got his hands up in front of Brown and took the mark. Good mark on centre wing. Wants to move it on quickly. Tries to drill the ball along the carpet to Tregenza. Doesn't sit for him though. Needs some support. Lane was in there fighting hard as well. Pack develops in between wing and half forward for the Seagulls. And we're going to have another ball up. 7-6-48 Bell Park, North Shore 1-1-7. Second quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all your big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Ball spills out the back. Well, Cooper Langan caught one high, and the umpire did see it in the end. And he plays on quickly as he was taken high by Ben Worm. He kicks a helicopter inside forward 50. Lane comes with a run, couldn't take the mark, brought it to the front of the pack. Wareham cleans up, gave it to Patton. The Dragons will run. Bell Park now going forward through Lockie Patton into the path of Marnie. It won't get to him. Sarcevic came across. He was taken with Charlie without the footy. Umpire said he got a handball away. Now it's Gray going laterally to Patton, who's got it just forward of the wing. The run comes from Merkovic off half-back. Driving ball to a one-on-one. Hayes from behind played it well. Knocked it away from Stefanovski. Stefanovski has no room to move in the left forward pocket at the southern end of the ground, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. About 10 metres around from the left-hand behind post. They're in attack, the Dragons, and looking to add to a 41-point buffer.
So boundary throw-in now. In front, Marnie up against Miljevic. Comes to the front of the pack. Oh, is that a high tackle? I think so. Marnie went a bit high there. And the free kick's going to come back to Jackson Smith for North Shore. It's a play on quickly, gives it away by hand. Leonard thought about going long. He goes short to Purcell, sets him a bit of a task, doesn't take the mark. Got some support on the outside, got the handball to McNamara. He's kicked towards half-back, is okay, they raffle it. Walmsley takes the mark, gives it away to Lang and Cooper. No, they're playing 1-2s there. Lucas was better at it, needs some support. Sarcevic, Charlie came in for Bell Park across half forward. They've got some extra players in support. They go towards Hayes, who pushed it away from Marnie. Gerard on hands and knees to Witherden. Back to Hayes, and they might be out of trouble now, the Seagulls.
Paddy Cleary's all alone at half back, but that ball is going to roll out of bounds in front of Cleary, who would have had plenty of room to work with if he was able to take the footy. But he couldn't because it got away from him, and it left half forward for the Dragons. We'll get a boundary throw in. 48 playing 7. Second quarter of Carrick football thanks to Harvey Norman. Ball back into play. Miljevic winning the tap down this time, buying about 15 metres for his team. It'll roll towards the boundary line. Wareham overran it, and we'll get a boundary thrown. Is Cleary playing maybe a defensive role on Wareham potentially?
Potentially.
For Wombat Gully Plant Farm. We'll keep an eye on that. Either him or Gray. He's with Gray at the moment.
Oh, they need to do something on Gray.
The boundary throw in. Miljevic again winning the tap down. It'll roll towards the boundary line, trying to keep it alive as Patton. Umpire didn't see his jumper being tugged at, although I could see it from here through the wonderful Bushnells. And now the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Right next to the boundary line, true centre wing out of side. In the shadows of the refinery here at Windsor Park.
They might want to worry about Keegan Gray, but I don't think Hamish Lucas has washed this week because nobody's going near him. Ball spills free for North Shore. They've got it this time. Miljevic, who's given them something in the ruck since he's gone there, goes towards half forward, punch away behind. Defensively, Bell Park. Handball towards Benstead, who can't pick it up, or Seller puts the tackle on without the football. Coming across and helping out there was Bowyer. I reckon we're going to get done for that. I reckon it's Boyer, but anyway, Bowyer we're going with.
You reckon we've been sold up the river by the coach?
We might have been. We'll ask Sakes. We'll see what he thinks. But boundary throw in, North Shore into attack.
Right forward pocket, front, James Worm winning the tap down. Lucas was there, couldn't take it. Miljevic put his head over the footy, handball out. Was from Seller. It missed its target in Witherden. Chance now for Milsom for North Shore. Snaps a kick over his left shoulder, a high ball inside 50. Oh, Miljevic, wonderful mark. Set underneath a high ball and stretched higher than anybody else in a pack of 3 or 4 and took a Hamlin hanger contender. Celebrating 40 years of building homes. That's Hamlin. And a nice grab from Jacob Miljevic, who, as Jace alluded to, since doing some work in the ruck, has had a little bit of an influence on the contest. Jacob Miljevic kicked 3 goals when the Seagulls tipped over the Dragons in round 4 last year by a point. From 45 metres out, a driving kick has been pushed to the right through for a minor score. And North Shore now on the second quarter. K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard moved to 128. Bell Park, a 7-6, 48 the margin, 40 points.
The ball kicks into the back pocket. The Parker's away through Patton. Goes to the middle with a kick. Beautiful lead up. Marnie wheels and goes to Lucas again. He plays on. Handball through the middle. Off half back as we've done. Gray again. Searing pass. Sarcevic goes up. Can't take the mark off hands. North Shore to defend. They get the ball out somehow. Goes towards half forward. Bell Park though might be there first. Can they pick it up? They can't do so. Good pressure. Was that a free kick? Jackson Smith over the top of it for the Seagulls. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Definitely Goggles Boyer, has said Buzz.
Yes.
Who knows him very well.
Highton Cricket Club.
Highton Cricket Club. Boyer.
That's what we're running with.
That's what we're running with.
Tap down by Edwards. Patton the roving, a handball to Reed, and Reed snaps a kick over his left shoulder. Might have been touched off the boot, so when he took it cleanly, won't be paid the mark. He's tackled by Miljevic simultaneously, and we'll get a ball up right next to the boundary line. Just near the 50. Bell Park in attack and leading by 40. Ball into the air. Miljevic with a run. Won the tap down to Witherden, who gave back to Miljevic. Miljevic jams it on the boot to the wing to a one-on-one. Stretching but not being able to take it with the one hand was Burns. And they'll get out of trouble. Wareham. Short, neat little kick is okay. And I like the look of this Matt Wynn, who's come from Horsham. And he marks right in front of our best seats in the house for Apco Cafe 24/7. He sends a kick inside forward 50, one-on-one. No mark taken there by Marnie off the hands of the Packies. Lucas again. Lucas turns, kicks to the goal square. Wants James Worm. He can't take it. In fact, it was Edwards. He can't take it on the half volley. Leonard back there to lock things up for North Shore at the top of his defensive goal square. Yeah, Matt Wynn looks like a player.
It's a pretty good competition up there, Horsham. So he's come to playing the best, and he's looking okay. Sarcevic from the ruck contest, turns around, kicks a Lambie's Tavern goal of the day contender. Great work from Charlie Sarcevic, top of the goal square, and beat a couple of North Shore defenders, turned around left foot goal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a coach killer, those stoppage goals too, because that's preventable. And again, we're talking about that metre and a half off your opponent. When you're at the teeth of your goals or your defensive goals, you want to be right arm on, old school, get your body on body, and they just gave him too much room. You can't give classy players room, Jace. They'll hurt you every time.
That's exactly right. And the experts share, as always, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong. Matt Kershaw there on K-Rock Football. Bell Park 8-6-54. They lead North Shore 1-2-8. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
Jack Fisher's got the knee ice now. The word out of the huddle from the medical team was that he's done for the day.
Thank you, Birchie, for St John of God. Injury updates. We put you first. That's a blow. Hopefully nothing too sinister there for the Dragon forward. And from the ball up in the middle, we've got a stoppage. Cooper Langan came up with the foot. He was tackled and will fling it back to the umpire. It's umpire Buckley putting it into the air. Wormsley doing the roving for North Shore. Got a handball release out the back to Purcell, who sweeps it wide. Chance now for Burns to straighten up and kick. Inside forward 50, he looks to go. Primer from behind with a one hand. He did well. He found it at ground level, was tackled and then got a handball release, but it's going to be stolen. Lloyd Merkovic heard the voice of Patton out the back for the Dragons. Laterally he goes, and Lloyd will set them up from inside defensive 50, and it's a well-weighted kick that finds James Worm. He wants to go wide and just got over the head of McNamara, and Jackson Sheringham will run onto the loose footy.
He goes with a left foot kick around the corner. So sit in for Wilson Mack. It does. K-Rock zone, runs from left half forward, goes inside 50. What's Marnie? Got some push in the back. Umpire said play on. North Shore defenders working overtime with it and across half back under pressure. Short little handball. Milsom. He goes towards centre wing. Langan. Mitch puts his hands up. 3 against 1. He did pretty well in the end. Goes to the right foot kick. It's a 1-on-1 inside 50. Benstead up against Salah. Benstead tries to get it towards the safety of the boundary line. Does very nicely. Bell Park veteran Steve Benstead sees it over, and we'll have a boundary throw in right forward pocket for North Shore.
All the experience one-on-one there, Jace.
I just can't handle Steve Benstead being referred to as a veteran when I knew him as a teenager. 102nd.
Tom, check your birth certificate, please.
GFL senior game, yes. Yeah, when it says 7 in there in terms of the year.
Stop it.
Wareham will clear with a bounce for Bell Park and then kick towards our broadcast position. A ball that will roll into the path of Brown. Good tackle, Wormsley. Got a handball away, Brown, into the path of Sarcevic, but he'll have no room to work with. That was Jack. Oh, and then Harry Purcell just wanting to check the forehead of Jack Sarcevic.
Just getting the grass off it, I think.
Yeah, that, what do we got? Bermuda.
Yeah,
Bermuda.
Oversown with a little bit of rye, as Billy Dixon told us pre-game. Boundary throw-in, tap down Edwards for Bell Park to the front of the pack, but Milsom did the roving for North Shore. He's going nowhere as Edwards lays a tackle in conjunction with Lockie Patton, and we'll get a ball up slightly forward of the wing. Broadcast side, North Shore in attack, but trailing by 46.
So Lane in the ruck contest, got it down. Cooper Langan got a kick away towards half forward. Benstead comes out. The veteran takes the mark and wants to switch and go. His ball, though, was chopped off by Primer under pressure. They dropped the footy as well. Should be a free kick. Good forward pressure from North Shore. Primer again comes up with the free kick and will go back. He'll be 53 metres out from goal.
St Albans have kicked 4 goals, Matthew, just for your interest.
There you go.
The expert, they call him. The expert.
What do I know?
The Sporting Globe won't be happy with you.
So Cam Primer, first game for North Shore this afternoon. And he's lining up for goal at the northern end of the ground. A kick from just outside 50. Comes in, right foot kick. Runs around, gives it everything he's got. Has he brought it back around far enough? Yes, he has. That's a great kick. And that is a Lambie's Tavern goal of the day contender from Cam Primer. 53 out, brought it back just with a zephyr of breeze up there at the northern end, and he kicks his first and the second for North Shore. 2-2-14. They trail Bell Park 8-6. 54 Harvey Norman. K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
There's a big celebration and a lot of love for that goal.
Well,
First goal at the club.
First goal at GFL senior level.
Okay. Good on the kid.
Do you remember your first senior goal?
Oh, mate, there's been thousands of them. How do you remember the first?
I haven't listened to him. Oh, gee whiz. It's just a bit of me time.
Furniture, electrical, computers, betting. That is Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Pond. Second quarter, K-Rock football. Back in the middle, Lane doing the ruck work and winning the tap down. But Bell Park going to come up with it through Lucas. Jams it on the boot into the left forward pocket. Rolling ball. Eluded Stefanovski. Tracking it back is Green. And out of bounds, boundary throw in left forward pocket. Bell Park in attack. 13 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, second quarter. Dragons in control of this one, leading by 40. They have stopped a little bit of the bleeding, the Seagulls, only conceding the one goal so far through 13 minutes. Tapped down by Lane in the ruck. Roving Gerard. Quick handball release with it, but a little bit too hot to handle. He's got 3 on him. Handball over his head. Missed its intended target. Lucas slung in the tackle. Got a handball up. Here's a now chance for Ben Worm. Worm from 45. Just pulled it to the left. Maybe a slight breeze favouring the northern end of the ground. Ever so slight from the south, but just seemed to hold up a little bit, that kick from Ben Worm that went out of bounds on the full.
So Jackson Smith, short little kick in for North Shore. Finds Jack Leonard in the back pocket.
St Albans actually has kicked a higher score than Leopold so far, just for your interest, Kirsch.
Short little kick. And McNamara for North Shore goes towards the outer side centre wing position. Prima comes out, runs out of room to keep that ball in for the Seagulls. And we'll have a boundary thrown in between wing and half forward on the outer side.
Well, it's great to see the clubs in our great competition improving.
As you are too, Matthew. Boundary throwing in the expert's chair for the Sporting Globe. Lane winning the tap down. Edwards, Witherden. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go which way? It might be against Witherden for a throw, and Worm will take it. That's Ben. Sends it towards centre half forward, over the head of its intended target. It'll roll inside defensive 50. Sheringham laid a good tackle to force the ball to spill, but Leonard to clean up for North Shore. A high ball wanting Witherden, who had to play spoiler. Brought it to ground. Hayes was there at the front of the pack. Did okay, then overran the footy. Has to go back and get it. Trying to help him out is Witherden by wrenching it out of the pack. It's now going to spill. A handball on the up was good from Prima. Just missed its target though. Gerard, he had a handball blocked off by Merkovic. Witherden comes again, working hard and then kicking it out of bounds on the full. No, he swung his leg out of bounds over the line, so that's not the worst result. They'll get a stoppage at right half back. North Shore 2-2-14, Bell Park 8-6-54. The margin is 40 in the second quarter of K-Rock football. Hope you're enjoying the call. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7 across K-Rock 955. K-Rock.Football.live and the AFL Bowen Facebook, AFL Bowen TV live stream.
So Edwards got it down for Bell Park, but roved by Milsom for North Shore. Gets it towards centre wing, pushing the back. Should be a free kick. Cleary takes it, wants to drill it back into Cooper Langan. Missed the target, has to sit and wait. Just got the handball away. Primer off a step. Scrambly kick inside forward 50. Might be Mitch Langan tried to pick it up, couldn't do so effectively. Benstead for Bell Park. Back towards Brown. They want to switch the play and they come across. They do. And they get the ball to Keegan Gray, who also must not have watched this week because he's had plenty of the football. Inside defensive 50, wants to play on, chips the ball. It's okay too, and he finds Ben Lloyd,
who is put on his backside by Harry Purcell after taking the mark, but it was in the contest, so the umpire says go back behind your mark, Ben Lloyd, and rack up another possession. Sarcevic pleading for it, Charlie, in front of our broadcast position. Instead, Lloyd will go back to his defensive goal square, and Darcy Brown has marked. He goes short to the presenting Lucas, and Lucas is playing in a different level to everybody else this afternoon. He's kicked to the wing, though. You give a bloke a rap, and he's kicked it straight down the throat of Lane. Lane marks true centre wing, lowers the eyes to a leading target, went over the head of Gray and also Tregenza and landed on the chest of Lloyd, who goes laterally inside his defensive 50, and the mark taken out there by Gorman. Gorman sends a kick towards the outer wing. McNamara was there to cut it off but couldn't complete the mark. Had it knocked from his grasp by Wilson Mack. Now a chance for Patton, fighting for it on hands and knees, but Cleary will clean up for North Shore. Quick handball to Wormsley. Wormsley jams it on the boot, and it's a well-weighted kick that Gerard is able to run onto, but his progress is halted by Benstead.
Plays on now, left foot, kick inside 50. Look for Miljevic on a lead. Didn't quite hit the target. And it's off hands and out of bounds for a throw in. About 30 around from the Seagulls goal. They're 2-2-14. Bell Park 8-6-54. Kirsch, it's been a bit of second term from the Seagulls.
It has. They've been a bit more competitive, and around the ball they've actually held them up a little bit to get those, or to stop those easy sort of exits, clearances and stoppages.
Ruck contest at the front. Mitch Langan dropped the footy in the tackle. Should be a free kick. Is Kai Edwards putting the tackle on for the visitors, and he will have a free kick in the back pocket. Northern end of the ground goes towards centre wing with a kick. Oh, flying over the back, Jack Leonard, as he's become renowned for, and takes the mark on centre wing.
Leonard goes wide to Gerard. It's just not really
Flowing.
Yeah, flowing, and it's not. There's no direction. There's a lot of crisscrossing with the footy as Gerard goes inside forward 50. Langan is the target. That's Mitch. It's fisted away from him and out of bounds into the right forward pocket, and we'll get a boundary throw in. 40 the margin, 18 minutes played, second quarter. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy. An option for next Sunday for Geelong and Essendon, the country game. Obviously there is some issues with the trains at the moment in terms of travel time, so an option for next week to consider Port Phillip Ferries. Clearing kick into the path of Stefanovski, who went with another soccer of his own. Gerard did well, got down low, got a handball to Jordan Purcell, who gave it back to Hayes. Hayes kicks to a leading Langan, who couldn't mark but then found it on the ground, jammed it on the boot, and lucks a fortune. Primer, standing 5 metres in front of his opponent, has marked on the chest and a chance to kick his second and the Seagulls' third.
Well, that's what you need to do sometimes, Kingy, when you're playing like you haven't got a strategy. Let's just get it in quick.
Direct.
See what happens. Direct. Get
Stand in front.
Yeah. Territory game.
You know, footy hasn't changed for 300 years. Play in front, get it in quick. You know, all those old school type scenarios and sayings. It's true. Doesn't matter what level you're playing.
28 games, 89 goals in the reserves for South Barwon over the last couple of years. A chance for his second goal, and he has kicked it.
Loves a celebration.
So 2 for Cam Primer. And North Shore go to 3-2-20. Bell Park 8-6-54, and a margin that was at 46 points is now back to 34 in this second quarter as we approach time on. Second quarter Carroll football. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Well, Windy will be pleased with this fight back in a way. Whilst they haven't hit the scoreboard and they haven't looked like they're playing free-flowing footy, what they have done is stem the bleeding. They're not scoring. Bell Park aren't kicking goals. What do they kick? 1 this quarter. So, you know, they're actually doing a really good job to defend better. They're not allowing that free-flowing footy, and they're actually protecting the corridor a little bit better. So if you see this quarter, Bell Park have had to make the ground big and play wide and switch the play a lot more.
Worm gets it down in the middle for Bell Park to Patton. Missed the target, which was Gray by hand. Lucas gave him a good shepherd and he picked it up underneath his bootstraps and did nicely. Got the handball on the up to James Wormer, who followed up the big ruckman left foot kick. Half forward, goes inside 50. Landed in front, can't take the mark. Spoiled from behind Sheringham. Handball out the back was good. Kick around the corner has missed. And in fact, it's out of bounds for a throw in. Didn't hit the target, and it will be a boundary throw in, and I think that came from Isaac Wareham. So the ball right forward pocket, Bell Park into attack.
So the ruck work, and Reid wearing Stefanovski wearing the famous Jackson Bright number of 27. There's going to be a free kick, and Stefanovski run down from behind by Harry Purcell. Gives a handball off to Leonard. Leonard loops it over the top. Chance to run with it, and just inside defensive 50. Kick to the middle of Windsor Park. Wanted Seller. It's a 2-on-1. Big fist. Benstead. Handball out the side door is well weighted. Finds Reid, and then Reid goes short with the kick. Finds Wareham, who provides plenty of run. 70 from home. Low darting ball is off target and onto the chest of Leonard, who's holding up the fort pretty well with he and Witherden down back in this second quarter. He goes short to Witherden. Witherden goes short into the middle of the ground, but he's going to turn it over. Cooper Langan was his intended target. Lucas got in the way, won the footy, got a handball on the up. Chance now for Patton inside 50. His kick, and dropping what he should have taken was Green. Time to recover to give it to Geordie Purcell, who shrugged the tackle of Sarcevic, but had his kick smothered. Then he went hard at Marnie. Marnie got his hands on the footy. Purcell comes hard again, dives on Marnie, and the umpire says, give it to me, as Sarcevic goes flying out of the pack. That was Charlie ending up on his Tijuana brass, and we will get a ball up between the edge of the centre square and the top of the 50-metre arc. Bell Park in attack. They lead by 34.
So ball up. Comes to the side of the pack. Langan, who has held in with the ball. So just inside the centre square for Bell Park into attack. We'll have another ball up. And Goff gets it down. Rove, though, by Patton. for Bell Park. Goes inside 50, defensively punched away. And then the Bell Park forwards, Mack and also Sarcevic, put on a tackle. Not going anywhere. Jackson Smith, the umpire will come in and ball up. About 40 out from the Bell Park goal. Goff goes up, gets it down. Wormsley tried to get the handball out and then went and got his own football again. Now Jack Sarcevic gives it away towards Wynn. Broke the tackle, right foot kick, round the corner, across the face of goal. Which way is it going to bounce? On the Bermuda and through for one behind to Bell Park. They go to 8-7-55. They lead North Shore 3-2-20. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Second quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, the ball set up on its point there. It wasn't a bad effort from Wynn. Leonard with the kicking duties for North Shore. Takes off into the right back pocket. The outer side is his target. What's he got out there? He's looking out there for Mitch Langham, but the Dragons are going to come up with it. Chance now for Patton on his left boot. Sends it inside forward 50. What's his target? It's Wynn, who marks right against the boundary line. Is it out on the full? No. And now he swings around from about 40 out. Sets it up to the top of the goal square. Lucas is there. Off the hands of the pack. It's knocked towards the goal line. Chance to clear Leonard, just a dribbling ball towards the boundary line. Sheringham, well, he's surely taken without it by Purcell. Umpire said play on. Charlie Sarcevic on his non-preferred right. Ball at the bootlaces was well picked up and given to Sheringham. Sheringham with the left foot snap, curls it around the post. The handball on the up was sublime. And that might have come from Marnie.
Was it?
Yep. Yeah. And then the finish from Jackson Sheringham to kick his second was exquisite.
That's
he
class.
Just curled it around the right-hand goal post and kicks a contender for the Lammy's Tavern goal of the day. Second of the quarter for the Dragons. They're 9-7-61. The margin 41. North Shore 3-2-20.
We mentioned they were holding up pretty well defensively. It was just a little mistake there. The little dribble kick out didn't clear the area enough, and when you got the class around the pill like that, Jackson Sheringham doesn't need too many chances, that's for sure. Left or right foot, he's a very classy footballer.
So back to the middle for Worm to go up and get it down, but it falls to Miljevic, his opposite number. Handball outside. Widdowson wrapped up by Wareham and not going anywhere. The umpire said play on advantage. No, he didn't. He said bring it back. Patton couldn't go forward, so ball coming back to Wareham.
Brilliant massage from Will Milson.
Yeah, I was going to say, Milson took the opportunity to get a little one in, didn't he?
So Wareham now drives it. Well, that was a terrible kick off the boot, like he stubbed his toe. Kick out wide, centre wing now as the 3-on-1. Merkovic gets wrapped up. Lockie Patton to help him out. Got that little handball out to Worm, who needs some support and got some. They come back to whence they came. And Ben Lloyd takes the mark and plays on.
Lloyd puts it onto the chest of Lucas, although he dropped what he should have taken. Crashing the pack, Sheringham left the footy behind in the end as he barged his way through. Lucas, all class, 45 out, directly in front, can't finish.
Drag him.
Push it across the face.
Get him off.
Would have been his third. But he has now 2-1 for the afternoon, and Bell Park have 9-8-62. North Shore 3-2-20, 25 and 3/4 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Hayes plays on from fullback for North Shore. Kicks it out towards Miljevic. Got two on him, punched away by Worm defensively at the back. Burns can't keep it in for North Shore. We'll have a boundary throw in left half forward on the outer side.
What's changed, Kirsch, in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe, just to get North Shore a bit more competitive?
Well, they've, like I mentioned before, they've certainly protected the corridor better, so Bell Park couldn't own it, but they just don't have the class around the ground to finish off their hard work. So when you see Bell Park with possession, it's all class, and we'll see here going forward. Oh, it's a good tackle.
Yeah, it was a good tackle laid on win by Harry Purcell. They'd gone forward from the stoppage. Purcell laterally to Gerard, who marks in the left back pocket, and the very hirsute Brad Gerard with that mop of red hair.
Kirsch, it looks like they've been better defensively too. Like there hasn't been those uncontested marks like there were in the first quarter when Bell Park went forward.
They have.
They've been better one-on-one.
Well, turnover time, guys, because Tregenz has gone across the face of goal looking for Geordie Purcell, and Jack Sarcevic got across to almost cut it off. In the end, he played spoil and knocked it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Left forward pocket. Dragons in attack, leading comfortably by 42 points, and the ball's back into play. Ben Worm, the unlikely ruckman against Miljevic. He's going to do the roving at the front of the pack. He'll come back inboard with the kick. He's got Marnie queuing up, 45 out, just left of centre. And Toby Marnie, a chance to kick what would just be the seventh goal of his very short GFL career so far.
Worm tapped that to himself in front and followed up and got his own clearance.
Just used his
It was
agility.
fantastic.
And I suppose that's one of the disadvantages of the undersized ruck in Miljevic for North Shore when Goff isn't there. We'll get close to the man on the mark, Marnie. He's got hot under the kick, but he's kicked it well enough. Jeez, it was sort of your lob wedge arrangement, and he just sort of it spun back to the pin to about 3 foot for birdie, and a nice finish from Toby Marnie. Kicks his first of the afternoon, and the 10th for the Dragons, who now lead by a game high 48 points. They're 10-8, 68. North Shore 3-2-20. Second quarter, K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Yeah, it was a good call, Kingy. The goal umpire was the pin. He just spun it back nice.
Live golf going on there.
I know,
It's going to the pin.
How good does the Grange look?
Oh, how good is that?
Yeah.
Are we at the party hole tomorrow or what? We need to be
No,
there.
we're at Bisanella Oval.
Fair enough. Close
which
enough.
is party hole.
Party hole, that's right. Back in the middle here at Windsor Park. Ball spills from Miljevic, gives it away to Gerard. Left foot kick from centre wing, goes towards half forward. So it's sit for Salah. He picks it up. Handball back inboard. Widdowson. Oh, right foot kick, very wide, close to the boundary line. And can't keep it in the Shories. It will be a boundary throw in about 50 around from their goal at the northern end.
Leopold's finally caught St Albans.
That's good.
Both 4-2. We'll go around the grounds at half-time. Grabbing it out of the ruck is Lane. Quick right foot snap will float to the top of the goal square. Off the front of the pack, a snap from Primer. Just had no angle to work with. It was very narrow, very tight, and his little snap is through for a minor score.
Give him something in the second term, isn't he?
He's the only one who looks lively up there, isn't he?
Yep.
Well, they've had to put Cooper Langham up in the ball to get him around and get some touches, so Primer has been that one that stood up down there.
10-8 playing 3-3 around the grounds very quickly for Leopold Sporties while we wait for the ball to return. Colac 50 lead Leopold 26, Newtown 54 lead St Albans 26, Geelong West and St Mary's tonight, Lara and Grovedale tomorrow, and South Barwon and St Joseph's on Anzac Day. AFL, Port Adelaide and West Coast early in the third quarter. Port Adelaide 9-6-60 in control. The Eagles 3-6-24.
Merkovich kicks it in for Bell Park. There's an amazing 60-metre kick to Marnie as the siren sounds for half-time here at Windsor Park. Bell Park in control 10-8, 68. They lead North Shore 3-3, 21.
Kicking 2 goals, 2 North Shore in that second term. Bell Park after 7 in the opening term, kicking 3 goals, 2. So just stopping the bleeding somewhat, North Shore, and getting a little bit more competitive around the contest. It's half time here at Windsor Park. APCO Cafe 24/7. Try the all-new chimichanga jaffle today. We'll go down to Jane Birch. Birch is just about to head out towards one of the, I suspect, Bell Park players for a quick chat. But while she does that, let's have a look at a couple of other scores from around the region. Let's go down and check out the GDFNL, where there's one game almost at completion after bouncing at 1 o'clock, and also some Bellarine scores as well. Jace, Bellarine, just very quickly.
Bowen Heads 41, Mottawarri 8, Newcombe 7, Queenscliff 6, no score, Anglesea, Torquay, Ocean Grove or Geelong Amateurs.
I've got Ammo's 25, Ocean Grove 12, Jai Sheen with the first 3.
And in the GDFNL this afternoon,
Geelong West winners 181, Anarchy 18, East Geelong 44, lead North Geelong 26, no score, Bell Post Hill, Werribee, no score, Belmont Thompson, and I think Corio is leading 69 to Winchelsea 50.
down to you, Birchie. You've been able to jag anybody away from the pack for a quick couple of words. I think might have Keegan Gray standing alongside you there, Birchie. Down to you.
Yeah, I've got Keegan Gray here, who made a fantastic start in that first quarter. You got heaps of run off half back there. You seem to be really gelling well with each other and getting that backward handball and then that movement forward.
Yeah, no, we're doing really well at setting up behind the ball, so that just gives me a bit of space to set up how I want to, and then go forward from there. So yeah, it's been really good.
And they came back a little bit in that second term. Can you pinpoint what sort of areas they might have tightened up in, or why that was happening?
We probably just got a bit too complacent looking down the line. We want to try and open up that midfield and hit that short 45 to open them up. So we probably went away from that.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Keegan Gray joining us here, looking to get himself back into that Werribee VFL team. It's half time at Windsor Park. North Shore 3-3-21. Bell Park
Players
Wonder what the
and
soil would
umpires
be
back
like.
out.
Wonder what the soil would be like here to grow plants on.
I reckon he's
Pretty
made up Bermuda grass as well, because I reckon he said Kikuyu.
Yeah, Bermuda's what they play golf on. It's a good golf course.
We've been watching Live, so
So you're getting confused with what you're watching.
Yeah,
How about we just leave that stuff to Jane, right, in her segment?
have a listen to Jane Birch's manager here. Gee whiz, watch out.
Just stay in your lane, will you?
Guys, he did say the Kikuyu. It's been a 5-year process to get it to where it's at. And you can see that height, just on the sideline
stick in
here.
your lane, you two.
Now, Geelong Sports Medicine Centre brings us Jane Birch, your ultimate destination for health, fitness and recovery. Now, we have been invited by Emma Jarman, Jane, you and I, down for the hydrotherapy pool and the Pilates and yoga studio for Jace and Kirsch.
You don't want to see me in a Pilates studio, I can tell you right
I know,
now.
but I want to see you in a pair of yoga pants.
Oh, do you really?
I know where you'll see me, mate, at the Sporting Globe. That's where you'll see me at.
We better go and do some exercise then to see what actually works.
I love it.
The hydrotherapy pool could come in very handy in the middle of winter, I reckon.
Yeah.
As long as it's set at a nice sort of 33 or 34 degrees.
Can you just have a convivial in the...
No,
sit there with that? No?
No.
Can you move it into the front bar at the Sporting Globe?
Third quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. Here we go.
Yes, Lane in the ruck for North Shore and gets it down to Witherden, who's in the middle as well for North Shore. And he gets it to centre half forward. Benstead took the mark, called to play on, got it away to Wareham. Handball outboard. Gorman had it, lost it. Now Cooper Langan comes in. Gorman's second effort was okay, needs some support. They can't pick it up, Bell Park though. North Shore can on the outside. Harry Purcell. Oh, a little bit of candy. Right half forward. Goes to the top of the square. Langan put a hand up. Mitch couldn't take it. Front and centre, Tregenza got their handball out. Salah had to take the tackle and did. Wrapped up straight away. Benstead in there and also Lloyd, and he's not going anywhere. We'll have a ball up 25 out from the North Shore goal.
Much positive start.
So the umpire will put it into the air. James Worm to do the ruck work against Miljevic. Worm won the tap down towards his brother Ben. He couldn't take it. Chance to clear. Lucas has been outstanding. A handball off. Chance to run Wareham. Brings it towards half-back, but the kick will be straight onto the chest. And marked there by Leonard. Leonard got a handball on the bounce to Walmsley. Go back to Leonard. Snaps a kick inside 50. No Mark Milsom. But he might get a free kick for an arm chop against Lucas, and he's made a rare mistake there, Hamish Lucas, this afternoon. He's got Leonard asking for it, cruising by on the outside of the right boot. He sets it up, top of the goal square, about 15 out from behind. Salah had to play spoiler on Benstead. Front of the pack. Chance now. Cooper Langan missed with the handball, and they'll clear. The handball, though, that was intended for Sarcevic from Stefanovski didn't get there. Lane Milsom got one high, surely.
Indeed.
Umpire didn't see it, but they'll go forward, and the mark will be taken by Miljevic 15 metres out directly in front. And a chance to kick the first of the second half for the Seagulls. Should have been a free kick back at centre half forward for too high on Milsom, but there was a quick kick out of the pack. And that quick kick, once again in front, Miljevic, and should have no trouble from about 20 out, directly in front, kicks through it and kicks the goal. So a nice start there for the Seagulls to this second half. Kicks the fourth of the afternoon for them. They go to 4-3-27. Bell Park 10-8-68 on the Geelong Bank K-Rock scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. And in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe, Matt Kershaw.
What the positive thing is there, they had repeat entries into their forward 50. So I know we've only been going for 2 minutes, but there was actually 2 repeat entries into their forward 50. Jack Leonard had set up well behind the ball. They rebounded back and forth side their forward 50. And again, playing in front gives you the opportunity to take a mark and go back and kick a goal. So a lot more positive signs from North Shore at the beginning of this, and that was a Witherden clearance at the first bounce. So see if they can get 2 in a row. That's a challenge now for them.
Around the ground, thanks to Leopold Sporties, Port Adelaide 75 lead, West Coast 38, close to three-quarter time at the Adelaide Oval. Back to the middle here at Windsor Park. Good start by the Shoreys in the third term. Worm James goes up early. Lane with a big thump down for North Shore. Gets it towards Witherden again. Walmsley wheels and goes. Turns around on the right foot. Puts it back inside 50. Punched away. Merkovic got a hold. Did he? The umpire said yes, he did. And Zach Merkovic will take the free kick in between full-back and centre half-back. Just chips the ball short to Lucas, who takes the mark.
Lucas, who released by Geelong VFL this week, with the Cats having the bye to have a run around with his home club along with Lloyd. Goes laterally to Gorman. Gorman's got it left half back. Broadcast side. He finding your way out a little bit harder early in this third quarter. So big kick to the wing, or flying high was with it and got up, got a hand on it. Off the hands of the pack, Hayes, a handball on the bounce. Purcell over the top to Witherden, can give it to McNamara, cruising by, instead turns and kicks forward, looking for Miljevic. Didn't have a carry on the kick. Lloyd judging it best for Bell Park. Cuts it off, marks, strolls with a kick. Oh, they wanted to go across the face of his defensive goal. Mitch Langan got a hand on it, knocked it to ground, snapped and kicked a wonderful goal. Lemmy's Tavern goal of the afternoon contender. The kick across the face of goal was mishit. Langan got a piece of it, knocked it to ground, recovered the quickest, and the quick snap over his left shoulder was quality from Mitch Langan, and he kicks his first of the afternoon. And the Seagulls have got back-to-back goals. Matt Kershaw, and on the K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard, they moved to 5-3-33. Bell Park 10-8-68.
Well, it was the challenge for them to get back-to-back goals, and we hadn't seen it all day today. But I mentioned it before about their repeat entries and their rebound into their forward 50. They're set up so well behind the ball. That's the difference. They're looking defensively sound, they're set up, their structure's good, and they get it back inside their forward 50. And if you get enough repeat entries, you're going to give yourself some shots on goal, and that was a brilliant goal by Langan. So, yeah, it was a mistake by Bell Park, but you've got to be defensively minded, and they were.
So centre bounce. Lane gets it down again, only in the arms of Worm, though. His opposite number for Bell Parker goes towards half forward. Mack rides the bump from his teammate Lucas on the point of the centre square at half forward, goes towards the top of the square. Purcell, though, reads it the better. Jordan in front of Edwards, takes the mark, goes short to Brad Gerard in the back pocket for North Shore. Just along the line, just 15. Oh, Purcell. Get the measuring tape out. He goes short. McNamara takes it. Still inside defensive 50. North Shore called to play on, is he? No, the umpire said just wait. Now he's called to play on now. Held it for a long time. He goes to the outer side looking for Witherden. Gave Lloyd a bit of a push. It was okay. In fact, it was Worm. He pushed off, and he'll take the mark and play on from half back.
Controlling the ball at the moment of the Seagulls. Kick towards half forward. Went through the hands of Primer. Off the hands of the pack, Salah can't free the arms as he's wrapped up in a tackle by both Brown and Benstead. And at left half forward, just forward of the wing. We will get a ball up. Lane and James Worm. Lane winning the tap down this time. Rolling ball attacked by Gray, but he's dumped in. A good tackle by Widdowson. Brought him to ground when he had a bit of momentum up. And another stoppage and another ball up. So rare time on top for the Seagulls. Worm won the tap. That was James winning the tap, and then he hacked a kick forward into the path of Jack Sarcevic. Gave a handball to Patton for Bell Park, leading up, and Mack takes the mark in front of Hayes. Hit the ground running, fired a handball forward that had a bit too much on it for Lucas. He couldn't reel it in with the one hand, and now it heads towards the boundary line to be dived on by Stefanovski and fired out of there. And Harry Purcell, who's doing some work back for Wombat Gully Plant Farm, and we'll get a boundary throw in at right half forward for the Dragons. They lead by 41, but have conceded an early couple of goals. The scoreboard hasn't updated here at North Shore. It should be 5-3-33 to 10-8-68.
Lane gets a push in the back in the ruck contest for North Shore, so left half back will take the free kick. Goes along the line, down, and, well, Wareham comes across from the front, couldn't take the mark, got Brown in support, got it back to Wareham by hand for Bell Park. Go out wide. Kick back in, board is all right from Gray to Patton. He now goes with that trusty left foot inside 50. Hold on, I think, for Stefanovski in front of Leonard. And he will take the free kick and will shoot for goal from 45 out. Slight angle. So he's kicked two this afternoon, Lucas Stefanovski. One on the quarter time siren, which just worked his way in the first term, and he's going to have a chance now from 45 out at the northern end of Windsor Park to put the 11th on the board for the visitors. He comes in now, right foot kick, and I think he's missed it. The goal umpire moved very quickly to her left-hand side and through 2 goals, 1 his personal tally. And they go to 10-9-69 now. Bell Park, North Shore 5-3-33. Geelong Bank K-Rock's third quarter scoreboard.
Harry Purcell with the kicking duties for North Shore. Just trots off into the left back pocket, and then a short kick onto the chest of Lane, who's doing some work in the ruck. He'll go back to his defensive goal square and across the face of it. And the mark's taken by Jackson Smith. He goes short into the waiting arms of Leonard. They're just controlling the ball, tacking like Australia 2 into the breeze at the moment. As he goes short to Jordan Purcell, loops a handball to Leonard, who cruised past. And now they'll send the kick very, very wide to the outer side, looking out there for a marking target. Primer couldn't take it. Or rather, Burns couldn't take it. Chance now for Burns to pounce on the loose footy. Patton was there as well for Bell Park. His handball towards Wynn on the bounce. Dumped by McNamara is a sling tackle, according to the umpire. And the free kick will go to Wynn of Bell Park against McNamara, the second gamer, his first game a couple of years back. And a chance for Wynn to send the Dragons into attack.
Oh, left, right. He's got the kick away under pressure there. And luck's the fortune falls in the arms of Wilson Mack, who 55 out, chips the ball over the top. Sarcevic, Jack takes the mark under pressure. And it's good mark. Coming back there was Jackson Smith with the flight of the ball for North Shore, but Sarcevic, who has kicked 2 behinds, had a set shot for goal from about the same spot in the first term. He's about 45 out, slight angle, and chance for his first of the afternoon. Left footer. Good mark and good movement of the ball from the visitors there. He comes in now and he draws it pretty close. Goal umpire got a couple around it. I think it's okay, and it's through for a goal. So he kicks his first of the afternoon. And the 11th for Bell Park, 11-8-74. And they lead North Shore 5-3. 33 Geelong Bank, K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard in the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong. Here's Matt Kershaw.
A little bit better movement by Bell Park. They are finding it a little bit hard to get forward. So North Shore would be happy with that. They just can't really capitalise on. I know they got 2 in a row, but they just need to get a bit more time in forward half. Witherden's been the key. They've put him up around the ball, and he's been really dangerous. He's probably got the last several clearances, and he's been off for that last 3 or 4 minutes. Probably hurt them just a little bit. So he's the man with it, and he's really improved them this quarter.
Umpire Elliott puts it into the air. Lane wins the tap down against Worm for North Shore, but the roving done by Marnie, and the Dragons will go inside forward 50 again. Mack front position, Leonard from behind brought it to ground. Sarcevic does the roving, tried to handball to his own advantage, retrieved the situation, but then was brought down in a tackle. Ball spilled out. Now it finds itself back into the path of Jack Sarcevic, working tight against the boundary line. Slung as he kicked, left footer off hand. He's going to roll across the face of goal and be cleaned up there by Burns. He'll clear for the Seagulls.
Only as far as Isaac Wareham, though, 50 out from goal, takes the mark for Bell Park and just holds the ball up, looking for some leads. He's got one in the pocket. It was not going there. He's going with the right foot kick high to the top of the square. Leonard comes across, nearly pushes away out of Harry Purcell's arms, who's his teammate, and he took the mark. Oh, short little kick, not 15, gives it to Lane, back to Purcell, drives it dangerously, close to the boundary line. But they get it. Burns wants 50. Just kick the ball. He does. He goes towards Tregenza over his head. It's a 3-on-1. And now kick around the corner was smothered. That was Boyer.
Goggles.
Goggles has got it. He got his kick smothered. It's going to be a boundary throw in left half forward for Bell Park.
Yeah, so Goggles apparently his nickname among the Highton Cricket Club crew. Ed Boyer, who's joined Bell Park from Skipton. Boundary throwing cleared both the rucks. Milsom now will try and go in and lay a tackle on Kai Edwards of Bell Park. The clearing kick rolls to centre half back, looking for Paddy Cleary. He can't take it cleanly. Reid had his kick well smothered by Cleary. He'll come again, Reid of the Dragons, and he's held up by Walmsley and also Milsom. Become a little bit ruck and maul sort of arrangement, just waiting for Woolley off and Hengawe to come out of that pack. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Do you remember Willie off and Hengawe? Gordon Bray would have been calling his name with much delight.
Don't know how you pull this out, though, out of nowhere. Obscurity.
Ball up inside the centre square. It's a bit gloomy here at Windsor Park, isn't it? Turn the lights on. Ball, handball, Tregenza tries to give it out forward to Burns. Merkovic got one high, comes out to Wareham. His handball, misses the target. Burns comes in, goes the football, then drags it in. Then has to get rid of it. Comes back into it. He needs to get rid of it again. The umpire's going to hatch it there. He's gone.
Ricochet into him. He's a bit unlucky, though.
He didn't pull it in. It came back to him. He's a bit stiff.
Good old Ricochet. day, hey?
Yeah, the
Gets a
Irish
game every
halfback.
day. Gets a game every day. And the free kick has gone to Keegan Gray.
He goes inboard to Edwards. Edwards loops a handball over the top to Lloyd, who gave a handball to Merkovic. Merkovic stopped, propped and snapped a kick inside 50. Missed its intended target, but coming up and meeting it was Wilson Mack. Mack swings. Mack goals. No, hit the post. That's 3/4 of the way up. Gee, there's something to like about Wilson Mack. He's elusive.
Could well be.
K-Rock's home.
I think is where he's from.
Yeah, and the margin's 43.
Brocklesby, Brokeback Mountain, or wherever he's from. Where's he from?
Bottom Buck or something.
that
Or
one,
bottom.
Brocklesby, Burrum, Butty.
That's it.
11-10-76 Bell Park, North Shore 5-3-33 in the previous comment. Written, spoken and authorised by Jason Doherty.
Ball round the corner, North Shore get it to centre wing. It's a one-on-one Langan up against Boyd. Goggles gets it out. Patton, handball backwards towards Worm. He thought about it. He got it away. Boyer close to boundary line to Patton under pressure. He got it away to Lucas. Back to Patton. Left foot kick around the corner towards half forward. Over the head of a couple. Running back to Sarcevic. He gets around on the left. Does he? No, he handballs it away to Sheringham. And his little short kick only as far as Brad Gerard, who takes the mark, saving for North Shore.
Barely went 15, but the umpire paid the mark. He comes across the face of his defensive goal, and mark taken by Green in the right back pocket. Northern end of the ground, long way from home, the Seagulls, as they look to eat into this 43-point deficit. Green will just come along the line now. His target is Lane or Widdowson. Went through the hands of Widdowson, and Patton will track it to the boundary line. He'll have company. I think Jordan Purcell had eyes for Patton. And, in fact, it wasn't Purcell. It was Tregenza. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Right at the interchange gates, right where Jane Birch is down for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Been a bit quieter in this third quarter for Birchie. From behind, Miljevic won the tap down. He'll have to go back and find the footy because it was on ground level at his feet. The umpire, though, says give it to me as there's a dragon locked up and getting to his feet. Might be Ben Worm.
It's getting a bit quieter on the boundary line. It's getting a bit louder in the Gordon Holmes field.
It certainly is.
Kai Edwards wins the tap down for Bell Park. The roving done by Wormsley of North Shore. Gave a handball to Langan, who gave it to Primer. Primer tried to give it to Miljevic, but he had it behind him and couldn't reel the situation in. So Primer has to dive on a loose ball. Umpire says, I'll have it. Thanks very much. So the margin sits at 43 points. The time clock says 30-51, but that ain't correct in this third quarter.
Ball up. Miljevic goes up. Edwards comes down. We'll keep an eye on that for St John of God holding his leg. Now Primer for North Shore. Handball. Back to Tregenza from Cleary. Thought about a short little kick and went with it. He mucked it up a bit. Needs to come back and help out. Right half forward for North Shore. Handball comes back out towards Wormsley. Little right foot toe poke over the shot towards a Primer. He can't take it. Benstead on hands and knees. They fight for it. It goes across. Sheringham comes back, gets one high. Should get a free kick. Oh, it's going to... The umpire who was at centre half forward at the other end got the free kick.
Yeah, the other two were unsighted.
Yeah, that's okay. Made the right decision.
Sheringham wants the corridor. He wanted Benstead. Seller was able to get it in the way and run interference, but Benstead found the loose footy. Handball that he fired into the path of Lloyd, who somehow was able to reef it forward towards Boyer, but he lost it. Gerard just sends a handball into space, but Cleary wasn't quick enough for Reid. Reid took it for Bell Park, gave it to Sheringham, stepped through Gerard, gave it to Gorman, who gave it to Wareham. Right half back, just back of the wing now. He kicks, and Leonard, though, going back with the flight, will mark for North Shore. Judged it best off the boot.
He does, and he laterally kicks it to Wormsley. Win just back on the ground for Toby Marnie. Injury update for St John of God shortly from Jane Birch. Now to Widdowson. They've switched the ball to Primer on centre wing. Best seats in the house thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. Kicks around the corner. Set a task for Mitchie Langan. Took the mark. Wants to play on, is he? The umpire says yes, he has to. Drives it back across centre half forward. All Bell Park kick off the ground. Comes back towards Lloyd, who gives it away by hand, and they get out towards Worm, who can't take it. Ben kick. Little toe poke was very smart. Now Purcell back on the ground. He worried the kick around from the Stefanovski towards centre half forward, but it's still in play. They get back there. Purcell gets some help, and North Shore might be able to clear, and they get it towards Jordan Purcell. A little kick around the corner to Wormsley, and they want to play on quickly. Gives it back to Purcell. Handball over the top. Chaos football. Smith gives it away by hand. Cleary short. Tregenza, they raffle it. Lane takes the mark.
Lane took a Hamlin hanger over his teammate. And he's got it, Jordan Lane.
He was half the size of him.
Going to drive a long ball towards right half forward. Big ask here for Salah. Went through the hands of Darcy Brown, but cleaned up out the back for the Dragons by Lloyd. Went to come towards the boundary, now goes back in. Borden Merkovic had to sit and wait for it, and Milsom put enough pressure on for him just to hit the ground. He bounces to his feet, goes laterally to Wareham inside defensive 50. Outer wing is what he wants, and it's Patton. He wants Patton to run onto the footy, and the skipper will do so. Set up for him, okay. Now he get back onto his left boot, or will he fire a handball? He does. Fires it over the top to Gray. Great running football from the Dragons. Kick inside for Sheringham is nice, and he marks comfortably 35 out from goal. As the run on that outer side, all the numbers that have been attracted to the broadcast side of the ground. Matt Kershaw for the Sporting Globe.
Yeah, well, when you switch the play without turning it over like they did that time, Bell Park, you can open the game right up, make the ground as big as you like, and have numbers run into it, and that's exactly what they did. Instead of owning the corridor, they owned the outer side that time.
Kick 3 last week and looking for a third this afternoon. Jackson Sheringham from 35 metres out has pushed it to the right and made the goal umpire work very hard to her left. Theatrics at their finest there as Bell Park go to 11-11-77. North Shore of 5-3-33. The margin 44 in this third quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Down to Jane Birch, injury update thanks to St John of God. Toby Marnie, Jane.
Yeah, he seemed to be indicating he got a bit of a knock to the face, but he's just walking up towards me now looking like he's ready to come back on, so it might have just been a bit of a stinger to the nose, I think.
All right, no worries. Kick in from North Shore. They go towards Gerard. Should be a free kick. I think Sarcevic, Charlie dropped the football in the tackle, and they get out of a bit of trouble because the kick in from Leonard wasn't the best, but they're going to be able to move the ball quickly from the back pocket. They go out wide. Purcell, Jordan takes the mark, so a bit of relief there. Got it outside defensive 50 North Shore to push it towards centre wing.
Take the first quarter out of this contest and it's actually been quite even, but unfortunately 41 points at quarter time is not going to get it done when you trail by that much. Nice Mark Lane coming up on stretching from that kick. Now a low worm burning kick that Wareham down low takes a slips catch. That's a good grab for Hamlin. He quickly wants to play on inside his defensive 50 to Lloyd, and they look to open up the broadcast side, although the outlets have been well cut off. Good discipline there from the Shories. And now a 50-metre penalty against Milsom, so that just eases the pressure valve a little bit. And Lloyd, with nobody running with him, he could run 70, 80 metres like that 50 that was paid in the preliminary final. He plays on Lloyd. Milsom nearly ran him down, and now it's going to be down ground. And it'll be a free kick, and I reckon Stefanovski will be the recipient. They're pushing, shoving on Milsom. And about 40 metres away, Stefanovski will have a chance at his third. So he gave up a 50, and then, in fact, it's not going to be. It's going to be Sheringham will have a chance at his third. Stefanovski, now Sheringham goes short into the pocket, and Sarcevic has marked all alone. And from here, that looks like it's Jack who's got it. No, it might even be Charlie. It's Charlie. I was going to be right one time, but not the first. So, right forward pocket.
They've effectively gone from 40 metres out from the attacking goal North Shore to having a shot without no one touching the ball.
25 out, left footer, suited by the angle, and kicks the goal. So a nice finish by Sarcevic. Charlie, he kicks his second, and the margin is now 50, a game high 50 points. Bell Park 12-11-83, North Shore 5-3-33, and the Dragons have worn some blows in this third quarter for Geelong Bank Kirsch, but have been able to fight off the Seagulls.
They have. We have 7 goals in that first quarter, Kingy, as you mentioned, but only 5 since. But they're just controlling the play without really hitting the scoreboard. We thought this game might have blown open a bit. To North Shore's credit, they've bounced back, but little things like that, it's a little bit of a team killer. That it's a 50, it's a down the ground. Effectively, it's gone from 140-metre possession, 140 metres out of North Shore's goal to 40 metres out of Bell Park's goal in one kick.
Miljevic got it down towards Witherden or Witherden. He kicked it and actually got tackled. Should have given a free kick away, but doesn't matter. They've got it inside 50, and Langan comes out in front where he's supposed to be at full forward, Matt Kershaw style.
Indeed.
And he's taken the mark and will have a set shot for goal. His first of the afternoon came about 6 or 7 minutes ago. He's going to line up for his second, and a quick reply for the home side.
Witherden coming off for a spell. They probably want to keep him on as long as they can, but he's not used to being on the pill, so he's running out of steam pretty quickly, but he's been terrific.
So Mitch Langan back in the team today. For missing the first couple of rounds. He comes in and right foot kick. He's made the goal umpire work at that end as well, but he has put it through. So his second of the afternoon. And that is the 6th for North Shore. They go to 6-3-39. They trail Bell Park 12-11-83. Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
I'd love to know what both coaches are thinking, Jace, right now. Like, James Saker would probably be thinking, geez, we really should have put this game to bed and, should be 10, 11 goals up, even more, really, after that 7-goal first quarter. And it's probably Darren Winner thinking, geez, if we just got rid of that first quarter and been a little bit more competitive, we could be still in this game and, be within a target in the last quarter. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what both coaches are thinking at this stage.
Tapped down by James Worm in the middle. Wing couldn't take it, but Lucas could for Bell Park. He sends a kick towards the outer wing. Purcell will lead the race. That's Harry for North Shore. And he's going to win the footy because it was overrun by Wilson Mack. Nice footwork from Purcell, but then he bit off a bit more than he could chew and surely has been pinged holding the ball, and the free kick will come back to Ben Worm. He did some nice work, but he just had to get it on the boot and get some territory for his team. And then when he went to fire a handball, his arm was held back and he couldn't complete an effective one, and that is holding the footy. Ben Worm, a high ball inside forward 50. Is going to be a free kick, no, as Marnie couldn't get a run at the ball. Wormsley through traffic, did okay, but it was dragged down as he kicked the rolling ball, taken cleanly. A handball over the top. Milsom confronted, and he just tried to put it back into the path of Witterson. Now, there's going to be a free kick, I reckon, for a trip maybe coming back to Witterson, who'll take it at left half back. On the wide expanses of Windsor Park, ground in fantastic conditions, but gee, she's dark here with no lights on and no sunshine.
Short little kick back into Cooper Langan, gets pushed off the football. Now Win for Bell Park, inside 50. Marnie, miraculous recovery. Lazarus has taken the mark and will shoot for goal, 40 out, 45-degree angle. So Toby Marnie, who's kicked one this afternoon. A chance for his second, and we've seen plenty of goals kicked from this spot this afternoon from both sides. About 40 out, 45-degree angle, northern end. He comes in. He was looking injured 5 or 6 minutes ago, but has recovered and comes in after a knock, right foot kick. Oh, gee, that's a pitching wedge, but he's got it straight through. It's a straight pitching wedge. Cam Smith would be happy with that. He's put it through for his second of the afternoon. And the 13th for Bell Park, 13-11-89. They lead North Shore 6-3-39. Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard in the experts chair thanks to the Sporting Globe. Matt Kershaw.
Hard to describe this on radio, but what happened there was that Witterson done all the hard work and got the free kick, but as he had the runner on his left-hand side of him on the outer wing, he didn't draw the player or the man on the mark, and he actually handballed it and gave the man on the mark enough time to defend the runner, and that turned the ball over and it got into their forward 50. So you look back at it and them goals are preventable.
Back in the middle, Worm was uncontested in the ruck contest, but the Seagulls are going to come up with it. A kick towards right half forward, well taken by Primer. He's got trouble though. Good tackle, Merkovic, although he didn't stick the tackle. That should be a push in the back. Umpire didn't see it that way. Harry Purcell went to dive on the footy. Gerard was able to grab it, jam it inside 50, but Benstead was clean for Bell Park. Handball to Lloyd, trying to get away from Goff, and laterally he comes to Charlie Sarcevic, who's got it in the left back pocket. 32 minutes ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. There's no better way to travel to the footy than Port Phillip Ferries. Sarcevic, Big Edwards, big fly, couldn't hang on to it. Front of the pack, Jack Sarcevic. Handball on the outside of the right hand was almost a throw taken by Leonard, who gave a handball to Primer. Primer a high ball inside forward 50. Lane flew, couldn't get near it. Front of the pack. Ball taken in the hands by Green, or is it Mitch Langan? It's Mitch Langan, and he's wrapped up going nowhere. So about 40 out from the North Shore goal. Would love to jag one late here.
So Lane gets it away, but only as far as Lucas draws a player. Got it the handball away series. Patton gives it away to Lloyd. Goes to the outer side with the kick. Sets a task for Reid. Burns is next to him on centre wing. Burns works his way to the front as the siren sounds for three-quarter time, and it's Bell Park 13-11-89, 50-point leaders over North Shore 6-3-39.
3 goals kicked in that third quarter by North Shore, but the Dragons were able to kick 3 themselves. In fact, kicked 3 goals 3. So the margin that was 47 at halftime becomes 50 at three-quarter time, and has Bell Park well positioned to finish this afternoon with the 4 points and go to 2-0. We've got plenty to get through at three-quarter time. We'll check in with Matt Kershaw for the Sporting Globe, Jane Birch for Geelong Sports Medicine.
I mean, there were some promising patches there, so they spoke about, winning those clearances is so important to be able to then set up, going forward, and then if he comes back out behind the ball. So there was a lot to like, and like you guys have said, they've stemmed the bleeding and been reasonably competitive since quarter time. So they're reasonably happy with the effort, but obviously they just need to, maintain it for just longer periods of time.
Thank you for that, Jane Birch, Geelong Sports Medicine Centre boundary rider, as part of our GFL coverage in season 2023. Of course, our footy fiesta continues into this evening with the Cats and the Swans from about 5:45. We'll be speaking with some big names, speaking with Ben Matthews, assistant coach of the Swans. We'll be speaking with Jared Griffin, Kardinia Park Stadium Trust, and
K-Rock's own.
And speaking with the Chief Operating Officer, Simon Kelleher, this evening as well. He might be coming off the bench for somebody to have a bit of a chat with us this evening.
It'll be good to talk to you about the new stand and the flag unfurling. Plenty happening at the Cats at the moment.
Absolutely.
Off the ground.
So final quarter, players in position, and can the Seagulls make a little bit of an impression on the scoreboard in this final term, or will the Dragons pull away? So umpire Elliott just waiting for the final people to get off the ground, and we are underway. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands. Geelong best prices. Here's Jace.
Yes, Worm gets it down for Bell Park, only as far as Walmsley though. Miljevic in there as well, fighting hard for it. Oh, ball. It was nearly a throw pattern for Bell, but only falls into the arms of Gerard, gives it away by hand to Witherden. His kick up the chimney a bit towards half forward, but in front, Cleary. It was kicked, it was touched off the boot, so he had to play on. Lucas got a handball free now, running through the middle. The big ruckman Worm puts his hand up, can't take it. Milston for North Shore. His handball missed the target in the end. It fell to Walmsley. He goes towards half forward. Langan comes out. Mitch needs some support. Cleary 50 out, lead on, goes up. Good mark too. Lane comes out. Hamlin Hanger style, just put the big Mets up and said thank you very much, and we'll shoot for goal from that predictable position of 40 out, 45 degree angle.
It's good clearance, got the ball back, lost the ball, got the ball back, persisted, and then a nice little bit of footwork into their forward 50. Good lead.
So
it's the first time we've seen him on a lead, really, Jace, today. Like the first
enough space to be able to do
exactly
that.
Right.
Yep. So Lane comes in now. Kicked 5 last week. Hasn't troubled the scorers this afternoon to date. He comes in now. Right foot kick. Good start for the Shoreys. And he has missed.
Jeez, he gives it a roost.
He does, doesn't he? He's a very good kick. Remember his first kick last week? It was just, his first two were shockers.
Yeah, they were.
But he's actually a very nice kick of the ball.
So one behind to Jordan Lane. North Shore 6-4-40. Trail Bell Park 13-11-89. Harvey Norman K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Balls on the fish and chip car park.
Good afternoon to all our listeners this afternoon, including Mitch from Melbourne, who's tuning in.
Mitch from Melbourne. Big news at the Cats. I hear, Mitch. Better get onto it.
Chance now for Mirkovic to clear. Oh, one-hander. Benny Worm reels it in nicely for a Hamlin Hanger contender. Just inside defensive 50. As Worm looks to step around the man on the mark. Witherden comes back inboard with a low dinking ball that didn't get to its intended target in Mirkovic. So this will open the door for Witherden. Loose footy, handball over his head. Hayes, 55 from goal. Open goal square. Long bomb. Good effort. Wonderful effort. Great kick, Lockie Hayes. Goal of the day contender from the long sleeve 33. Lemmy's open Friday to Sunday with happy hour and free entry before 10 p.m. No need to check the licence on Lockie Hayes with that receding hairline.
Written and authorised by Tom King.
You're on your own on that one.
Yeah, I'm staying right out of that one.
As he kicks his first of the season and just third of his career.
He's 26, don't worry about
it. And the margin is 43.
North Shore from the back pocket.
7-4-46, Bell Park 13-11-89. And he needed a compass to get back to where he came from.
Miljevic gets it down to the middle for North Shore. Patton tracks it back for Bell Park. Can't pick it up now. Wrapped up. And Miljevic coming in. He's had a good game this afternoon.
He's had a go, hasn't he?
He's had a go.
Yep.
Lights on
Lights
here at Windsor Park.
Yep.
Thanks, Birchie. And the lights are on.
So an hour ago, I reckon.
Bit of twilight football now.
We're turning back the clock to the old North Shore pre-season night series.
Do you remember that? Yes.
Did Port Arlington tip over? When Stormy went to Port Arlington, they tipped over North Shore in the final one year.
I think so, yes.
Ball from the middle. There's a good kick too. Comes around from Lucas. He gives it the car to Gray. He goes Long with the kick inside. 50! Mark taken, and it came from Gorman, who put the footy in. And I think it might be Marnie with the mark. And it was a good movement off half-back by Hamish Lucas, as we've come to expect this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, really. And it's ended up in the arms of Toby Marnie, who's kicked 2 this afternoon.
Steamatic standout. Kirsch, I know that's your lane, but geez.
Oh, gee whiz.
Goodness gracious.
Giving everything. Marnie comes in, southern end of the ground, right foot kick straight
nice
through
kick.
it. Goal. And goal umpire says that is his 3rd this afternoon. And a quick reply to the old man's kick from Lockie Hayes. Bell Park 14-11-95.
Written, spoken and authorised by Jackson.
They lead North Shore 7-4-46. And it's on the Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
He's a nice kick of the ball, isn't he, Marnie?
Yeah.
He's got a really good fluent action. For those that, watch forwards kick goals, he has got a really good action. And
He runs straight at the goals.
He runs
which is a good
straight at the
start.
ball. At the goals, he doesn't move. He's just very, very sound in his technique.
Back in the middle, umpire Elliott. About to put the ball into the air. Very deliberate approach from the umpire as he puts it up. And Miljevic and James Worm, neither can get a clear hand on it. Wormsley just extracts it from a teammate and then puts it inside forward 50. Rolling ball attacked by Benstead beautifully. Handball released to Patton, who gave it back to Benstead. Benstead fired it over the top to James Worm. Worm on the cricket pitch area. Kicks on his left towards left half forward. Up came Jack Sarcevic. Couldn't complete the mark. At ground level, surely a free kick for Sheringham as Burns went in below the knee. Smith went in below the knees. He's brought down in a Sarcevic tackle and going nowhere, and at left half forward we will get a ball up. 14-11-95 Bell Park. North Shore 7-4-46. 5 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
So Miljevic gets it down, rode by Lucas, got it down towards Patton, right on 50. Wormsley pushed him in the back, hold, whatever you want, the umpire says. And free kick coming back to the skipper. So Lockie Patton, 55 out from goal. Gets a Marnie lead, he just holds the ball though. Called to play on short, there he goes. Short, kick in, looking for Sarcevic. Jack couldn't take it with the mark. Hayes is there, and also Wormsley. Got the handball free. Harry Purcell, in the tackle. Widdowson did pretty well to get out of it, actually. Gerard grabs the footy. He gets it along, and they go towards centre wing with the kick. Goes out towards Langan. He's got 2 or 3 against him. Reed gets back there to help out. Langan comes at him. He gets around. Right foot kick. Goes back towards half forward. Needs a mark from Lucas and gets one.
Lucas
surprise, surprise.
hits the ground running and then kicks towards the centre half forward position. No mark taken there by Gray, who looks to have snuck forward for the moment. Sarcevic wrapped up in a really good tackle by Goff, who brings him to ground. He's all arms and legs, Goff. He'd weigh about 58 kilos wringing wet. But he brought Charlie Sarcevic to ground nicely and got a stoppage for his team. But it's between the edge of the centre square and the top of the 50, favouring Bell Park. The roving Gerard outside of the right-hand handball was almost a throw. Handball was okay from Miljevic, although it's going to elude Wormsley for the moment. He had to go back and retrieve it. Handball to Gerard came there from McNamara, who might have hurt himself for St John of God. Keep an eye on that. Now Jackson Smith's kick is well weighted and marked next to the boundary line by Milsom. Milsom sends a kick, and getting out the back is Burns, who marks, and you can't miss him with the long sleeves, the flowing hair and the headband and the sort of Hall & Oates moustache. Kick inside, forward 50. Laney's target went over his head out the back, cleaned up nicely by Lloyd. Geez, he's all composure and class, and it's a well-weighted kick. But Sarcevic, Charlie, is marked.
He has inside defensive 50. Wants to play on, get it towards Gray. It goes out.
You caught it just before Kingy in that last transition. Keegan Gray pushed forward, and he now looks like he's playing that halfway flank role.
Leonard and Marnie on centre wing, get it to Jordan Purcell. So North Shore with the numbers. Harry Purcell, a little bit of candied. Leonard, handball over the top. Wormsley draws a player, handball along centre wing. Off a step, quick kick came from Travis Green, but turned over. And again, Lloyd takes the mark for Bell Park across half back. Just settles the play down. Burns stands the mark, called to play on now. Goes down the line, back towards centre wing. Up, Jordan Purcell. Oh, Hamlet hanger on centre wing and gets it away quickly towards Harry, who goes inboard. Brad Gerard crowds some space and he'll be able to drive it Deep forward for North Shore.
Near the centre circles, Brad Gerard with his sideshow bob hair. Short kick marked by Witherden. Witherden 75 from home. Oh, he stubbed his toe as he kicked that and kicked it straight to Sheringham. And they might hit it on the rebound now. Kick over the top. It's Sarcevic. Jack tucks it under the arm. Runs to 40. Open goal square. Has missed to the left.
Gray was on his
and
own.
he absolutely put Keegan Gray in the burnt unit.
Absolutely. I douse him in cream because he just got burnt completely.
Oh, that's beyond singed. That's third degree. Bell Park 14-12-96. North Shore 7-4-46. 8 3/4 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
Probably the quickest bloke out there, Keegan Gray. Would have ran onto that nicely.
1 goal 3 I've got for Jack Sarcevic.
Yeah, Ray would have kicked it though, so that's the thing. He
100%.
probably had to kick it. Oh, turnover handball. Jordan Purcell gives it away. Oh, they squeeze it in. They do Ben Worm. He used every amount of just inside the right lip of the cup and got it.
He would not have kicked that, Jace, if you did not lean with him.
I did. I leaned, didn't I? I was coming back with it. He kicks his
You
first.
pulled that back perfectly for him.
Ben Lloyd kicks his first.
Why do people do that? Because once the ball's in flight, if you lean, it doesn't change it. What does it tilt the Earth's axis or something?
I think it's just a natural process that you do it just to help it on its way. Just you've got to do something, Kingy, to bring it back.
Yes, I'm claiming that goal. Ben Lloyd's first. 15-12, 102 Bell Park. North Shore 7-4-46. Harvey Norman K-Rock. Fourth quarter scoreboard.
We're at the 56-point mark here. Kingy, the man of the big box, is 55 points.
55.
Yes, he's...
Well, I'll win today if it's anything greater than here because of the nearest to the pin. So I'm quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the middle, winning the tap down, James Worm, rolling ball he couldn't take as he tried to follow up with it and took it, tried to get it to Miljevic and got in the way that knocked it towards Patton from Wynn. Sheringham, just shrugged off a tackle with strength and then brought the kick laterally. Charlie Sarcevic wanted to straighten up onto his left boot. Kick inside forward 50. Set for Gray! Oh, he got up, but he couldn't hang on to it. At the front of the pack, Wilson Mack with the banana to the near side. Keegan Gray was set for a day to fly at that one. He did everything right, bar hang on to it.
Jeez, gave us something, didn't it, towards the end of the day? But he only got one hand to it.
That was great.
So in the
I lean, you go up. I
Yeah,
love it.
exactly. Yeah.
left back pocket, Leonard wants to go across the face of goal from one behind post to the other to Gerard. Gerard short to Jordan Purcell. He'll give it to the run of Leonard, who's not stopped trying all afternoon. Jack Leonard, he goes wide with the kick. Paddy Cleary all alone, marking on the chest. Put that on the Channel 7 News, Mitchell. He goes short, over the top and diving. Jackson Smith takes the mark. Got to quickly get to his feet. Got to keep this momentum going. But now they go backwards and they concede to Leonard.
Leonard's got it. Half back.
I don't reckon that's the kick. Why were you going forward and you've got momentum? You've gone back probably 35 metres into a troubled spot.
He goes out wide with the kick, doesn't hit the target either, and
No,
off
that's the
hands.
problem.
And now we're going to have a boundary throw in centre wing on the outer side.
It's just decision making, Jace. You know, you want to keep going forward and promote that forward ball movement. You don't want to be going back 35 metres into his offensive half for no reason.
Boundary throw in. Goff gets it to the front for North Shore. Gerard. Roves, Wynn, chopped it off with it and put the tackle on straight away. He's not going anywhere. Buried him in the Kakayu turf. And we'll have a ball up on centre wing.
Sort of a cross between Don Burke and Kevin Hines on So What. Remember So What on the ABC?
I do, unfortunately.
Sunday night watching. Walmsley sends it inside forward 50 for North Shore. Benstead, judging at best, takes a nice mark. Jeez, he's a good player, Steve Benstead.
Veteran.
Yeah. Sure, no, I've given him a wrap. He's
did.
kicked it straight into the waiting arms of Cooper Langan, who kicks it to Lane at the top of the goal square, and North Shore should get a simple goal.
They talk about commentators' curses and things like that. He hadn't even got it off his boot yet, Kingy.
And he's kicked it straight into the waiting arms of Cooper Langan. And now a 15-metre penalty, which will ensure that Jordan Lane kicks his first of the afternoon. And he puts it through Jordan Lane, and the margin is back to 50 points. 8-4-52, the Seagulls. Bell Park 15-12, 102. Final quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Furniture, electrical, bedding, computers. That is Harvey Norman, Crow and Warren Ponds, Geelong Sports Medicine. Down to you, Jane Birch, boundary side this afternoon.
Kingy, how you going? They're certainly putting in North Shore, and I said to some of the North Shore faithful down here, I said, look, if they could keep Bell Park to 15 goals, well off that 22 from the last 2 weeks, then, they've made a good account of themselves, and they're all improvements moving forward. So, that was a really good play and hitting up lane, and he's finally got on the scoreboard for a couple of goals too. So, that's positive signs.
Thanks, Birchie. Back in the middle. Edwards for Bell Park now having a run in the ruck. It goes towards Lucas, who picks it up beautifully. Gives it away to Win by hand. Right foot kick inside, 50. And that's training drill stuff, that was.
Keegan Gray looks good down there, I reckon.
He does,
too.
doesn't he? They've moved him, switched him forward, and he's...
Do you reckon Mick Barlow's sort of following things and got on the phone and
put him forward?
Said to Sakesy, mate, let's have a look at him down forward?
Well, Simon Riddock just messaged me, funny enough, and asked him how I thought he was going. So certainly on the radar. He's emergency for tomorrow.
No, he's a defender. That's
he's
what
a
he
defender
is,
kick.
He's missed it. He's missed it 2 behinds. Keegan Gray this afternoon for him. 15-13, 103. Bell Park, North Shore 8-4-52. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard. Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all your big brands at Geelong's best prices.
If you can hear the strains of Living on a Prayer in the background, that's coming from the North Shore Ladies' Day. Leonard went with the kick towards McNamara for North Shore. He couldn't mark, ball out of bounds, right forward pocket.
We might just do some live K-Rock music between the games today.
Oh, what about Birchie just maybe?
I think that distracted me, that song there. I'm a bit of a JV fan.
Are you really?
Love the John Bon.
Oh, wow. Boundary throw-in. Knocked down by Miljevic from behind. The soccer off the ground by Cooper Langan. Didn't get any real purchase. He rolled it off the shin about 15 metres. Merkovic a handball on the up. Taken by Walmsley. Gave to McNamara. Too slow Primer. Good tackle, Lucas. So we saw a bit of Primer in the second quarter, but not much else this afternoon in his first game. He's come up a little bit sore for St John of God too. Keep an eye on that, Birchie. What a wonderful kick from Lucas. Onto the chest of Wareham, who's had a good afternoon as well. Man on the mark, stands 48 from goal. Wareham will kick from the edge of the centre square. Oh, what a wonderful bullet onto the chest of Keegan Gray. 20 out directly in front. That was scything through the air. Barely got about 5.5 foot off the ground. And Gray this time surely should kick. His first of the afternoon does so. And the margin is now a game high 63 points. And probably not truly reflective of how the game's been played since quarter time. 17-13, 115 Bell Park. The scoreboard, I think, a little bit behind us. North Shore 8-4-52. Gray with his first of the afternoon on the K-Rock. Harvey Norman, final quarter scoreboard.
Just looking at a few players at North Shore now, I think the white flag's up because they're certainly sort of standing like witches' hats at the moment, particularly when Lucas played on then and got it into the corridor, and then that kick when he played on, it was just elite. That's a 35 to 38 metre pass, a metre off the ground. It was an absolute bullet to Keegan Gray, and still the defenders didn't move, so I think the white flag may be up.
Lane back in the middle for North Shore. Got the... he
hasn't. Lucas.
No, got the tap down, but only as far as Lucas got it away to Patton. He goes left foot kick. Inside, Marty comes out on a lead. And Jack Leonard falls over the top of me as well. And gee whiz, I hope Hamish Lucas knows how to get to the Leopold. I'll tell you what. Because if anybody else is getting that today, we're in real trouble in here.
That's Birchie's call.
I don't care, Birchie. You're giving it to him. You have to.
I was about to tell him when he was walking past me just before.
I think he could have told him at half time.
I reckon he's had Peter Featherby today. Yeah, he's had plenty.
I'm telling you, he's cracked the half ton today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Toby Marnie, who's kicked 3 this afternoon. Jack Fisher was up there to start with, and they pushed Marnie deep forward, and he has kicked 3 goals. 1 now. He's missed to the near side through 4-1 behind. 16-14, 110 at Bell Park. North Shore 8-4-52. Do you know what? Harvey Norman, K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Too close to the man on the mark then, Jace.
Have I
way too close.
Has the scoreboard missed a goal? I've got the score at 116, but I'm happy to be corrected. We go wide. The kick will end up with Hayes, who's got it just back of the wing. Snaps a kick over his left shoulder towards Cleary. Wareham came up off him in that Wombat Gully Plan Farm matchup. Might be a free kick too high. Cleary over the top.
I've only got 16.
I might have got a little bit excited in my scorekeeping.
I wonder who you've given one extra to.
I reckon you gave Keegan Gray an extra one, maybe. Did you? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yep.
Anyway, the margin is 58.
It is.
16-14, 110. North Shore 8-4-52. Final quarter. Thanks to Harvey Norman.
The ball across half back for Bell Park. Just holding it up now. Just looking for Hamish. Just give it to Lucas. No, it goes to the other side. Ben Lloyd goes wide. And play on. Kick around the corner from Goggles Boyer. Goes to centre wing. Gerard with it at the back. Right foot kick for him. High up the chimney. Boyer from behind.
With him.
And we'll keep an eye on that for St John of God. Back to Goggles again. Left foot kick around the corner towards half foot. Or put that's over the shoulder to Edwards. Should be a free kick.
He can't run with it, and his man's got it.
And they play on advantage. Handball over the top. Comes back towards half forward for Bell Park. Pick up. Oh, Stefanovski gave it away to Sheringham, who got one high. Oh, holding the ball if you don't mind.
Yeah, well,
and
away he goes.
North Shore will take the free kick from half back.
Cooper Langan goes, whoa, one-hander almost reeled in by Widdowson, but he was unable to mark, but he controlled the ball well enough to be able to find it and kick to Hayes, and the former North Geelong Magpie goes short to the leading lane, who has come out and marked a chance to kick his second and pull the margin back to 52.
I think with it might have had a bit of cramp then. There's some very tired players down here. There's not much energy, so they're just seeing out this, the final 10 minutes or so.
Spent a high percentage of game time on ball since quarter time, so he's probably worthy of cramping. And you're not used to playing on the pill, Jace.
Yeah.
Gee, when they move the ball quickly, Lane does look dangerous, doesn't it? You can see why he kicked 5 last week against Colac if they just got the ball in there quick. So he looks dangerous when he's on a lead.
Injury updates thanks to St John of God. We put you first, Myer Street, Geelong. Man on the mark stands about 40 from goal. Lane will have no issue with the distance. He gives the ball a prodigious roost. And he's kicked the goal?
No,
he's hit the post. Jeez, he must hit the top of it.
Yeah.
And the margin is 57. 8-5-53 North Shore. Bell Park 16-14, 110. We approach time on in this final term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy, including next Sunday for the Cats and Essendon, the country game at the MCG.
Berkovich kicks in. Wynn can't take the mark. Burns. North Shore needs to get rid of it. Does by hand. Langan. 40 out. Cooper. Right foot kick misses to the left-hand side and through for one behind. So we've got 8-6-54 now. North Shore. Bell Park 16-14, 110. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Berkovic just directing traffic. He pointed at Edwards, but he went short into the right back pocket to Lloyd, who also has racked them up this afternoon.
They're averaging 59.5 points per game, Jace, North Shore, so they're on target at the minute.
Dumped as he kicked, and it'll be a free kick down the ground for the Dragons. And once again, somebody who bobs up quite often. He polled 5 Matheson medal votes last year in the 2 games against North Shore, Lockie Patton. Team of the Year member last year. And coming up towards game 150, Lockie Patton, game 148 this afternoon. So in a fortnight's time against Newtown and Chilwell in the Zoe Kennedy game, he'll rack up a pretty nifty milestone.
I reckon he might get the 2 today as well.
Maybe the 1.
Maybe the 1.
Lucas Lloyd Patton.
Yeah.
Going wide and finding Reed. The Dragon turned Newcomb Power, turned Dragon again. His handball set a bit of a task for Merkovic, but he had time to fire a handball forward. Wareham concedes back to Big Edwards, who dropped what he should have taken, and then he reached down to grab it and left it behind, but time to recover. Benstead cruising off half back, sends a kick towards left half forward. Reed runs to about 45 from goal to a one-on-one. Front position, Marnie. Was he being held up by a set play on?
Lucas.
But Lucas is going to stroll into a goal, and then he's absolutely dumped, and it is on. Jordan Purcell has put Lucas down. Lucas is getting to his feet, but that wasn't liked by the Dragons, and now we've got a bit of a stacks on the mill involving 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players that might find the video being watched closely by our friends at the match review panel. And there's a yellow card has been produced too.
He should get another free.
So Lucas with the goal to make the margin 62 points. He kicks his 3rd of the afternoon and almost certainly guarantees he's off to Leopold Sporties. Card has been shown. Jordan Purcell will come to the bench, and instead of coming through the interchange gates, he'll just come from the ground. I suspect, I know he will go to the gates, but that will be his afternoon done. And you would suspect that there will be another free kick paid here for Lucas to kick his 4th. So Jordan Purcell will be interested. I didn't see it. I just know that his body and Hamish Lucas's came together.
It was just late. Yeah,
He's in the book too.
Yeah, he's been reported.
Yep.
So that will be an offer from the match review, or from the umpires post game if that's in the book.
So the ball went through the goals and as he was being hit, so technically it should be another free kick.
And I think that's what's being discussed right now, as well as reports being laid. So we're just going to get a little bit of a delay here. Yeah. It depends when they deem when
That's correct,
the
yeah.
incident happened. If they think it happened at the time of the kick, there won't be. If they think it was late, which I think it was.
I thought the ball was through. It slowed down the kick.
Yeah. So the discussion is being held by the umpires about whether we're going to see another free kick or not, and whether Lucas is going to get the opportunity to kick a fourth.
He is.
So,
Well, no, they're going to give it to Marnie on the goal line, are they?
and he.
Why though? Down the ground?
It's down the ground.
But he was on the goal line.
Yeah, well, Marnie must have been closer to the goal line. So Marnie's been given a gift. He's got 4.
He's just gone, thanks very much.
Well, that's a bit crazy, to be honest.
And the margin has gone from 56 to 68 in the blink of an eye. So,
I mean, the right decision was made, but I would have thought Lucas was standing on the goal line to kick the goal, gets another free.
so that should make it 18-14, 122 to 8-6-54, and the margin 68 by my count. Please do some quick math for me, please. Jace, do you concur?
Correct. You are correct, Tom King.
Yeah, the scoreboard's just missed that first one, then the second one, so...
So one of them's gone up, one hasn't gone up. We're at 24 minutes played now in the final term, so this quarter might drag a little bit longer than initially anticipated. And we're back in the middle with umpire Elliott putting it up for Miljevic and Edwards to go at it.
And Edwards gets it down towards Patton now. Lucas, who gets it outboard to Sarcevic. Charlie, left foot kick around the corner to half forward. Out wide towards
Look at
brother Jack.
Lucas. No one goes with him.
No.
Look at him.
And now Jack Sarcevic, 50 out. Charlie drives past, gives it to him. He's a little left foot kick inside. And who would get it? Hamish Lucas.
I'll tell you why, because the North Shore midfielders are still here at the top of the 50, and Hamish Lucas is 25 metres out from goal on his own.
Well, he's just taking it out of us all now. Yeah, he's had 55. I'd love to see the stats.
This game's comical for him.
Left forward pocket, reels around, right foot kick. Nobody really stands on the mark, kicks the goal.
No way.
So that's his fourth.
This guy's a freak, mate. This guy is one of the better players you'll see running around this competition.
Shane Jack obviously knew something last year because they weren't giving number 7 to anybody after Tim Sheringham
100%.
retired. And they gave it to Hamish Lucas, and I think we all stood up and took notice and gone, we don't know a lot about this
100%.
kid.
Yep.
But, gee, we do now.
Yep.
And do you know what? Bell Park fans who are listening, watching here at the ground, enjoy watching him today because you're not seeing him much for the rest of the year.
No.
If Mark Corrigan needs to be given a 11 out of 10 rating for him, for Hamish Lucas, he'll be back in the... He'll be... not that he was out of the side because he got the bye, but he's
elite.
Edwards gets it down in the middle. Wrapped up Tregenza. Kick by Patton again out towards half forward. Just inside 50. Coming out was Green for North Shore. Gerard over the top, back to Green. They worked a little 1-2 and he took the mark at right half forward. So 19-14, 128 Bell Park. North Shore 8-6-54. 26 played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this final term. Miljevic takes the mark on centre wing for the Seagulls. He goes out wide, kick. Paddy Cleary takes the mark. 55 from goal.
Port Adelaide by 40 over the Eagles, 109-69.
Goes along the line and Aaron Seller takes the mark. Still on the boundary line. He wants to drive it with the right foot, top of the goal square. Clunky looking kick. Falls in front. Lloyd and Wareham back there for Bell Park. Wrap it up. And the umpire will come in and ball it up about 20 out from the North Shore goal.
In the final throes of this one at the 26.5-minute mark on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, Bell Park by 68. Stay with us. Our footy fiesta continues this Anzac Day weekend. Cats and Swans. Tonight, myself, Ben Casanelia, Mark Neal, Jason Doherty to bring you all the action. Hayes diving on the footy, knocks it forward towards Gerard. Cleary couldn't get a kick near the boundary line. It bobbles out of bounds for a boundary throw in right forward pocket. Northern end or refinery end of Windsor Park. Wonderful vantage point here from the Abco Cafe 24/7 van. Palm down lane, roving Cleary, wrapped up by Wareham, going nowhere. Another stoppage, and we'll get a ball up. So 18-14, 122. North Shore 8-6-54. Stay with us for the fifth quarter for the Sandman Mattress Factory. Both the coaches and our Leopold Sporties player of the day to go under the microscope.
So from the ruck contest, Bell Park get it down through Worm. Goes towards Patton again. Has to be quick this time. Oh, pushed off the ball by Cleary and way too late. Should get advantage paid. So the visitors out towards half back and Jack Sarcevic takes the mark. We want him to wheel on that left boot as he goes now down the line over the back. Edwards sticks the hands up, takes a Hamlin hanger contender on centre wing. Plays on now. Little toe poke. Oh, just hits a target. He needs some support. He got some. The ball up the chimney towards half forward. Coming out was Gray. Falls to the back of the pack. North Shore under pressure again on hands and knees. They get around, kick around the corner from Wilson Mack. And he has kicked the goal. K-Rock's own, if you don't mind. Pretty easy, that. It's his second this afternoon. And I think that's the 20th now for Bell Park. They go to 20 goals, 14-136. They lead North Shore 8-6-54. And that is on the Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard. Please ring the siren.
I still reckon there's about 4 minutes left.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Is there a chance to kick 22-18?
That's what I was heading to, Kingy. Maybe not the 18, but definitely the 22.
We're not mentioning that again, Kingy.
Well, we're at 20. So I reckon with 4 minutes left.
Couldn't happen third week, surely not.
I'm thinking it can.
Yeah, so scoreboard's a goal out here at the ground for those listening through KRockFootball.live and FM 955. Quick kick forward, Sarcevic. Chancellor for Gerard of North Shore. Handball back on the bounce with it and confronted. Gave it to Gerard, who just jammed a little left foot kick wide. Miljevic reeled in with the one hand and looped a handball over the top. Burns confronted. His handball sat in the air for Primer. Quick release. Miljevic kept running. Left outside the left boot. Not a bad kick. Lane on the lead. Couldn't complete the mark. Defensively good, the Dragons. Well played by Boyer. And then Benstead, who got a little kick away to Merkovic, who marks in the right back pocket at the northern end.
Short little kick coming, and it's short to Worm. Ben Worm in front of the Bell Park coaching box. Will drive it with the right foot along centre wing. James Worm there, and going up in the middle, Harry Purcell. Handballs forward to the footy, Wormsley. Free kick, push out for a block. And the North Shore coaching staff not happy with that free kick.
Scores level down at Shell Reserve. Grubbers and the Ammos.
Right, close one down there. So the ball with Stefanovski now on centre wing. He goes backwards. Merkovic takes it as the siren sounds. So no,
it was those 4 minutes. Was only 2.
No 22 goals this afternoon for Bell Park. They've kicked 20 goals, 14-1-34, and they have defeated North Shore 8-6-54.
It's still 64 goals in 3 weeks, eh, Jace? It's a lot of goals conceded.
Certainly is. Goal kickers this afternoon, Hamish